for fire. 'Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the.
Yeah, like it's set in stone. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, it is time to bring the heat. Yeah. We compete, got a mutual enemy. If it's up to me, I'm choosing you. Up in the sky, we'll never lose.
Like an unload, we precise. I will take your advice. Got this energy up, we will take home the prize. So come get it, play this game. Showing all your skills, bang, bang.
Let's raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the chart.
No doubt we will get that, get that. Roll out, never sit back, sit back.
Let's raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
Yeah, I bet you will show them all your skills.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win.
Coming in, don't hit pause. Owning it like the boss. We taking care of the job like we the best. Going in for the chase, about to go celebrate. We can take home first place like first and 10.
Out in this world we can explore anything we want to the core. So come on, we'll play this game. Show all your skills, bang, bang.
Let's raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
No doubt we will get that, get that. Roll out, never sit back, sit back.
Raise the bar, ready to stop, we'll never stop. Together we're off the charts.
Yeah, I bet you will show more your skills. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone.
Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone.
Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win. Set in stone. Bang, bang, we win.
No matter what, we will weather any storm when we're together. We can always aim for more. Yeah, this that bang bang, we're love for
Yeah. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Dive into reality. Yeah, we can shape our own fantasy. Do it all, no adversity.
Set the tone like it's set in stone. Set in stone. Bang bang, we win. Set in stone. Set the tone like it's set in stone. Free fire, yeah. Could've never faced this alone. Keep my head up and breathing low. Put my heart with the ones I know, yeah. Cause I got the bass turned up loud, and the best that I know around. Fire that we can't live without, yeah. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my, need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the sign. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when we're catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire?
Men at Wars are masters of their fate, and this time few masters have got an opportunity for themselves to write a better fate when it comes to the grand finals. You guys are watching Free Fire Max Pro League by Skyesports. On the desk with me is Crips. Crips, off the bat, I'm going to shoot a question at you. Let me know what are your expectations for the day, because this format for the first time ever is going to be introduced, where teams now have an opportunity not only to run into the grand finals with a good number, but also to showcase their talent one full day.
Yeah, so far the tournament has been amazing, and my expectations for today is that the teams will try their level best to hide all the best strats while still trying to put up a performance which lets them get some sort of an advantage going into the finals. And like we said, this is a very unique format of the tournament, right? We've seen 18 teams compete for 12 spots so far. This is what we witnessed in the last 3 days of Free Fire Max Skyesports Pro League. That was the knockout stage. Now we're going to be rushing on to the point stage, and the points rush stage, and then after that the grand finals as well. All of that we'll speak about in detail when we get around to the format screen. But to answer your question, Arka, this is going to be a banger day. Although I don't expect teams to go full out, they might be hiding something for the finals.
Absolutely. But again, I somewhere feel that, this is the right opportunity for teams to actually strike fear in the hearts of their opponents, to make sure that, they have an upper hand, not only going into the grand finals, but also to make them understand that do not come to our drop locations as well. We're going to just look at the format and try to explain you guys what we are speaking about. The knockout stages have just been completed with 18 teams which were competing. Only the 12 best amongst them have now moved forward to the point rush, where in the point rush, the 12 teams, nobody gets eliminated. They'll be playing 6 matches today, and they're going to fight for an advantage, and that's going to be a point advantage, which is going to be explained very soon.
Yeah, all the points that you earn today will be converted into rankings for tomorrow, and the team that finishes on top today will have a slight more advantage tomorrow, since they will be having more points to begin with. At this point, these teams are competing for a massive amount of money. The champion over here gets 5 lakhs, second place teams gets 2.5 lakhs, and so on and so forth up until the 12th place, which means the fact that you make it to the finals itself guarantees you a little bit of cash payout. On top of that, there's individual awards as well. The MVP player gets 20,000, and the Predator, that is the player with the most eliminations, also gets 10,000 rupees. So this is going to be quite a lot of money that these teams are competing for, and the way that they compete will be to get as many points as possible. Of course, today, when they start playing for all of these points, we'll take a look at the points. The Booyah will grant you 12, second place will grant you 9, coming third will grant you 8 points, so on and so forth up until the 10th place, where you only get 1 point. Each elimination will also grant you a single point. So everything that you gather today will then be converted into rankings, based on which you will be given different points for tomorrow. So let's say a team finishes on top today, they will have more of an advantage going into the final, since they will already have more points than the rest of the team.
Yep.
So today your job is not to get out of the top 6, or maybe don't stay at the bottom. Your job is to be at the absolute number 1 points. If you're at the first place at the end of today, you will get 10 points extra tomorrow. That is, before the first game even begins, you will already have 10 points. Well, that's quite an advantage.
Absolutely agreed. Just imagine the confidence boost as well. You have nothing to lose on game 1. So what all strategy you've been planning to execute, everything can undergo with a calm mind. And also the second place, an ample amount of points until you're in the top 6. Yes, I understand 1 point is kind of less in comparison, but it's always better than 0, as 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th position teams are just going to look forward for that 0 pointer and try to do something fresh from the get-go itself.
Yeah, but in case there's a tie, this is how the tiebreaker will be decided. First, we'll compare the number of booyahs that these teams have, and if that also is the same, we'll take a look at the number of eliminations they have, and if that also is the same, which is very unlikely by the way, we'll take a look at their survival ranks and their average position.
Now, this is where I don't think so we're going to be going towards that survival rank part of the whole tournament. I still feel that, with this kind of a format, some team is going to snatch away the booyah right after they attain the 80 points. If you guys are wondering what I'm referring to, I'm just trying to explain you the champion rush condition. So what is champion rush condition? if your team in the grand finals attains 80 point, you immediately activate the champion rush condition. Now what does this do? It's going to help you to get one booyah after that. If you get the booyah in the next game itself, then you're going to be declared champion. If you do not, you still have an opportunity until you gain one. But just in case somebody else reaches that 80 pointer, even they'll activate the champion rush condition. So all the teams which have activated it will continue to have a chance to be champions.
Yeah, and this is quite a unique format where every team will have to give it their best, not just play for the top 2 or top 3 ranks. They will have to actually try to win the game. So tomorrow we could see either all 8 games, or there could be a team who finishes the whole tournament in 3 games itself. We could be seeing anything. And to make things even more interesting, the teams are not allowed to repeat abilities, which means each player can only have one active skill, and all the players in the team have to have unique skills. So you can't have 4 Chronos in the same team just deploying their bubbles everywhere. You can't have 4 Tatsuya dashes. Everybody will have to choose some new unique ability.
Now that makes things much more interesting. Speaking about interesting stuff, this is how things ended when it comes to the previous week. By 1 point, yes, PVS Gaming did overcome the big challenge of crossing over to the 12th position, whereas Non-Stop Gaming missed the qualification by just 1 point. To be specific, PVS Gaming qualified with 121 points, whereas Non-Stop Gaming got eliminated with 120 points.
Yeah, and that's how close the difference was. Imagine the difference 1 point can make.
Yeah.
Just one single point. And tomorrow, the teams that are at the top will get 10 points in the grand finals as an advantage. So that's even more interesting. So far, the team that has always held on to that number 1 spot and refused to let go was TSG Army. They were absolutely unstoppable during the knockout stages. They had the highest number of eliminations. In fact, the top 5 players of the tournament, in those top 5, 3 of them belong to TSG. And that's how you know TSG are on an absolute roll. They were unstoppable, but the bigger question over here is, can they be stopped today? If you can stop them today, there's a chance they don't get enough points tomorrow, and then there's a chance you can smother their impact on the final day before they even have a chance to make some.
Now, I still feel it's going to be a hard task, because you have 3 of their players who are trying to compete for that MVP spot, and most of them have got ample amount of finishes or eliminations, and they ended with 121 eliminations in the previous round. That itself shows that this team is packed with firepower. They have a greater opportunity when they look forward for this week, and yes, they will be my favorites heading on into this week. But if I have to ask you the same question, I know it's going to be a little bit of a tougher choice for you, because you have been seeing most of these teams having same amount of brilliance when it comes to playing this game. But which team do you think have a greater chance of getting that first spot when it comes to the final week?
I mean, you already mentioned TSG, but just to differ from your answer, I'm going to pick Team Elite as my team. They obviously had some struggles on the first day of the tournament, but after that, in their second day of the knockout stage, they were able to perform really well, and they managed to do a comeback, and because of that, these guys have now qualified for the point rush stage. I do believe that in the point rush stage, they might be able to get to a second or third position and then get an advantage in the finals. But that's just my prediction. Let's hear it from Pahadi himself, how he's going to feel about this tournament.
टीम और वन ऑफ द फैन फेवरेट क्रिएटर है पहाड़ी. तो पहाड़ी का हम लोग पहले स्वागत करेंगे. सबसे पहले बहुत बहुत आपको यहाँ पे बधाई दैट आप क्वालिफाई करके पॉइंट रश और ग्रैंड फाइनल की अपनी जर्नी कर चुके हो. तो आई थिंक यहाँ पे तैयार पूरे होंगे. बट सबसे पहला जो सवाल है कि डे 1 में पहाड़ी जो आपकी परफॉर्मेंस थी वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा डाउन हो गई थी, बट डे 2 में ऐसा क्या किया कि इतना अच्छा कमबैक कर पाए आप?
डे 1 में थोड़े से दिक्कतें थी. मैं जैसे कि स्टोरी मैंने डाली थी, थोड़ा नेट का मेरा दिक्कत था, एंड स्टार्टिंग के 2 मैचेस मोमेंटम खराब हो गया था, उस वजह से बाकी के मैचेस भी थोड़ा डाउन हुए. फिर उसके बाद हम लोगों ने एक अपने जो प्लेयर को बिठा रखा था, जो पिछले 1 महीने से बैठा हुआ था, वो वापस आया. उसको बुलाया कि वो फ्रेश था एकदम. उसके पेपर चल रहे थे, तो उसने इतना कोई लोड नहीं लिया टूर्नामेंट का, बट उसकी भी बैकएंड में प्रैक्टिस चल रही थी. तो वही हुआ. लास्ट में जैप ने बहुत अच्छा खेला, जो उम्मीद थी उससे. वो किया उसने।
चलिए पहाड़ी, बहुत अच्छी बात है, प्रिपेयर बिल्कुल करके बैठे होंगे कि ग्रैंड फाइनल पॉइंट रश के लिए काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट डे है, हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स, क्योंकि कुछ कुछ पॉइंट मार्जिन से टीम्स क्वालिफाई करी हैं। पर सवाल मेरा उसी तरफ को आएगा जिस बारे में आपने जवाब भी दिया है कि क्या हम लोग और ज़्यादा जैप एंड पीयूष में एक्सचेंज देखेंगे, या फिर पीयूष हमें देखने को ज़्यादा मिलेंगे, जैप थोड़े कम नजर आए, क्योंकि काफ़ी सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट भी कर रहे थे आप लोग बीच बीच में, तो क्या होने वाला है आज का प्लान?
आज फिलहाल तो हम लोग पीयूष के साथ जाएंगे, क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम उसको 2 मैचेस के बाद मतलब बिठा दिया था, बेंच कर दिया था, एंड वो चीज़ उसको थोड़ा दिल पे लगी भी। तो होप सो उसने उतनी ग्राइंड की हो आज के दिन के लिए, क्योंकि आज का दिन कुछ ऐसा इतना ज़्यादा भी बिग नहीं है कि आज कोई 10 पॉइंट लेके जाता है तो बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाएगी। तो इसलिए थोड़ा पीयूष को भी आज चांस देंगे, अच्छा खेलेगा तो हो सकता है कल देखने को मिले।
जी हाँ, पीयूष को भी चांस मिलने वाला है। चलिए ऑल द बेस्ट पहाड़ी, आज के मैचेस अच्छे जाएं एंड कल के मैचेस और अच्छे जाएं, एंड मेहनत आप कर ही रहे हैं, अपने फैंस को खुश कर रहे हैं। चलिए रुक करेंगे हमारे गेम्स की तरफ, और जी हाँ, काफी कुछ डिस्कस करना बाकी है। पहाड़ी हमारे साथ जुड़े थे, धन्यवाद पहाड़ी। जल्द मुलाकात करते हैं आपसे गेम में।
बिल्कुल, यहाँ पे ऑल द बेस्ट पहाड़ी।
Some wise words coming in from the side of Pahadi to his teammate, because when the time was right, they did choose to keep their best foot forward and bringing in Zap and qualifying, just to advocate to that point why you would want to have Elite as one of your favorite teams. When you look at the top 10 spots, they were the only team not to have any kind of booyah but still qualify staying within the top 6 position.
Yeah, and they were able to do that because of consistency and a lot of firepower.
Yeah.
Pahadi used to be one of the best snipers in India. I do believe he might still be, especially with the new player Zap coming in.
Yeah.
He just finished his exams, so he will have all the bandwidth in the world to focus his entire attention on the games today. And speaking of the games today, we will be having 5 maps of Free Fire action, but the last map of the day, the 6th map, will be a mystery. It will be randomized. We start with Bermuda, go to Purgatory, Alpine, Kalahari, and then next era. All 5 maps will be played out, and then the 6th map will be one of these 5 played for a second time in the day. What's it gonna be? Which will be that map? We will find out later on.
Yeah, and it's always been a game changer if you ask me, because we have seen new teams trying to capture that booyah in the final game and then making a huge difference when it comes to the overall standing. Now, Point Rush team list, yes, everybody knows this. The best of the 12 teams are over here. Just to refresh your mind, I'm going to go quickly. Assassin Army, Bin Zidane, Black Flag Army, Desi RNX, HTG Esports, Car 98, your PVS Gaming, TSG Army, Team Elite, Team Vasio, Total Gaming, and Team P and Rose. Amongst these teams, we'll have to give a lot of credit to 2-3 teams. One is going to be P and Rose, where PVS Gaming as well as Bin Zidane, because they were struggling in the first half of the tournament. They did bounce back well.
Yeah, but even Car 98 Army, they did not have the best start, but then they ramp up the firepower towards the tail end of the first day, got quite a lot of good positions to their name, and they were able to convert their advantages as well. Desi RNX has players who are absolutely on fire. Like Ronan Negi has been hitting some banger shots back to back. And now let's take a look at the next team. Obviously, TSG Army will be one to watch out for.
Yeah.
They've got Ayush, Legend, Ritik, Krish, Siddharth. All of them are just absolute monsters. Siddharth is sitting at the number 1 spot right now. He is the current elimination leader. And then after that, we have Team Elite. We already spoke about that. One thing that you need to notice over here is that Team Vasio as well is someone that you need to watch out for. They were able to get 3 booyahs on the same day. So that's a force to be reckoned with. And amongst all this, even though Total Gaming is a very strong team, they sometimes fail to show up under these kind of pressure situations. So we need to keep a lookout on them as well. You never know when they will just activate their inner demons and let them all exercise the lobby.
Now, Fozzy did explain to us that they were trying to catch up to the new meta because their players were recently been busy with their lifestyle and now they've come back into the game. So a bit of hard work would have gone through in the last 48 hours of trying to find out the right kind of combination when it comes to this unique, active skills which should be taken within a team. And I somewhere feel that Total Gaming is going to come back or bounce back very hard today. We can expect them to be the top contenders of having that great advantage in the points point rush itself. Now, we also spoke about several teams where in between all these things, I would like to bring your attention to one team which impressed me the most. That is Black Flag Army. They were the only team which was not predicted by any casters to be in the top 5, and they landed themselves perfectly. They had decent amount of eliminations there. If I'm not wrong, they had around 84 eliminations with 67 position points. That shows that this team is also well composed, I would rather say well trained, because they know exactly what they're doing with the 4 players.
Yeah, and the best part about their game plan is that they always manage to survive the Thanos circle.
Yeah.
What is the Thanos circle? You might be asking. It's the circle that goes from the 4th to the 5th one. That's the spot where more than half the area in the lobby shrinks, in the circle shrinks up, and a lot of these teams are eliminated.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of action during that circle closing, and then there's a slight lull in the action because then every team gets a compound for themselves, and then you see more action towards the end. So they always manage to survive that phase. They always manage to survive and get into the top 5. And after that, they are able to somehow mark their territory and get a couple of points for themselves. So
True.
that's quite a good thing that Black Flag Army have done so far. Plus, they always are able to identify the best possible compounds. There were some situations where they got rushed by other teams for no reasons whatsoever, which ended up destroying the game for both of those teams. But unless that happens, Black Flag Army are quite secure.
Yeah, Black Flag Army, they also have this small tangent with them that they most of the time they always get contested on their drop location. Now this time around, I hope that's not the case, and they are preparing themselves for the better tomorrow, because ultimately for every other team out there, they do want to end up on top of the table, because if not the 10 points buffer, I don't think so any other points which you take from this table is going to be good enough for you to have the proper head start. Yes, the second position 7 points is also decent enough, but apart from that, having 3-4 points or 1 point difference is not going to matter that much, because you'll have to do the same amount of hard work throughout the tournament as in compared to the rest of them as well.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be consistent, and you will have to keep putting in that hard work all throughout the tournament. You can't afford to let go of your guard or just not be aware, not be fully alert at any given second, because the moment you slip, there will be plenty of wolves who want to tear you down in that 1 second. So you need to be completely aware and just be on the prowl at all times. And speaking of being on the prowl, soon these teams will be prowling all over the island of Bermuda, trying to find a place for themselves and trying to find as many eliminations as possible. That is going to be the first game of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, I would like to take you over the skies of Bermuda and into it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading into the first map of the day. This is the map of Bermuda, where every single team is eyeing to make sure that they are on the top of the table by the end of today, not only to replicate what they can do tomorrow, but also to show us that they are in need of those valuable 10 points. The two ends of the flight path seems to be in no zone, where I would like to call it between Shipyard and Riverside, and ending up between Rimnam Village and Mass Electric. So diagonally dissecting the map, this flight path is going to give everybody opportunity to respect each other and go to their respective drop location.
Oh, take a look at this. Speaking of drop locations, there's many teams contesting the same spot. Mafia, he was about to get sliced by a hacker, but he shoots him down instead, and that's the first blood drawn. Mafia does get the first elimination, but there's plenty of other fights also happening. At peak, you have 3 teams contesting each other. You've got PVS Gaming, Assassin Army, all of them duking it out in the big house. And you also, on the edge of this entire POI, have HTG, who are looking to third party the moment they get a chance to do so.
Absolutely. And we did speak about the team Black Flag Army, who always tend to go for the drop clash, again on the receiving end of things. Now it's a very good opportunity for the side of Team Assassin Army to eliminate the side of PVS, but it seems like PVS were clever enough to evade from this fight. The final player, he'll have great opportunity now to go ahead and revive his teammates, but just in case PVS gets taken down over here, again the not kind of start they were looking out for.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would be looking for a start where they lose 3 of their players. At least they don't get eliminated right off the bat, so PVS Gaming still have a chance of reviving their teammates.
Ooh.
Vinod, though, he meets the same fate as those members of PVS Gaming. Caught out in the open of nowhere. He's going to get shot down, and it's very likely that he will be finished off as well. I don't think his teammates are going to come back to revive him. They'd much rather just let him pass away and bring him back via the recalls.
Now look at how teams are using the drone as soon as they take down a player. They want info. They are hungry to get those eliminations. And that kind of an intent, if any team carries, are going to have a great opportunity. Speaking about intent, now we have BZ versus the side of Car 98. I don't think so. Car 98 are having such a great game over here. The last man standing, Badal, is going to be shot at several times. He's going to use that XM, and it's not going to do much for him. And with that, most of his teammates are down. The last man standing will now head back to the nearest revival tower, or probably head on to the nearest token shop to revive the teammates, whereas BZs, after losing a player, they're going to be so happy with the 3 eliminations.
Yeah, BCs are bringing back Binzed himself, the captain of the team, back again. But HTG Mokria, one of the best players of this team, is actually trying to run away when he gets shot down mid-air. From afar, Arman will provide some cover. That's going to finish off Darshan as well. So now they see RNX are at 2 eliminations, and they want to get out of this position before they have a problem with the third parties. So they reposition over Pochnok, and now they might be within shooting range of PVS. So spotted, he's gonna get shot at, but the fight between Binzed and TSG has started again. Binzed just managed to get revived. He had just touched the floor with his feet, and before that can even happen, before he can even properly get any weapons, he's gonna be finished off along with Arup as well. It's just Ninja. By this time, Binzed have given away their points to 3 different teams.
Now TSG...
They gave away a... Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
Many teams have actually feasted upon them. And take a look at that as well. Now they see RNX once again continuing to chase PVS. They see RNX were actually getting distracted by 2 teams, so at least they've now decided to focus towards PVS, and that should make their lives much harder.
Speaking about making people's life hard, I think TSG, they've understood what their game plan is. They've understood what their strengths are. Before we break down more about it, PVS Gaming, what a retaliation coming in from the side of Yogi, but it's all going to go in vain, as immediately he's going to get traded out. PVS in deep troubles as 2 more players who have just got revived have another big responsibility up their shoulder. Arman on the other side, he sees HTG's 1 player coming in closer. Won't have to do much as his teammate is going to come into action as well. And TSG, they're not going to stop showing up in that elimination feed, are they?
I guess not. At least they won't be on the right-hand side of the elimination feed, They're always going to be on the left. They're going to be the ones shooting. Anyway, HTG, who did suffer a couple of losses, have managed to revive a couple of their players again. But I'm concerned about these 2 teams. Competing in Sentosa Island, they have a long way to go towards the mainland. PN Rose and Team Elite. Both of them have entered a bit of a standstill situation over here. And there's only like 2 ziplines which you can use to get across. Both of them are being marked. So now it's going to become a battle of attrition. Which one of them will run out of resources first? Which one of them will run out of meds first? Or maybe you could just find an opening and manage to completely finish off your opponents before they have a chance to revive themselves. And Rose was almost taken down himself. Just puts up a glue wall in the nick of time.
Yep, absolutely. Pahadi, I guess he did miss a few shots in the beginning and he wanted to redeem it. As on the other side, PN, they're ready for it. Snehil as well. Immediately PGL comes into play. Mr. J is just going to avoid that and look forward to take down the side of PN Rose. Now TE, they need to be careful, because the more they elongate this fight, the more it's going to look like the candle is burning on both the sides.
Yeah, and that's not the kind of candle you would want to be. You don't want to light yourself on both ends. You don't want wax all over you. He's trying to isolate this fight. He almost had his opponents in his crosshairs, but now they're going to be entering from different rooms as well. Fuse does get taken down. Sahil lands the shotgun blow before anybody else can, and he gets out of the room as well before he can get traded out. He finds Olmok, gets behind him, and he's trying to free fire across the corner, and he's just going to completely ignore Olmok. The rest of his teammates can take care of them, and Team Elite, within a matter of seconds, have been wiped out.
Now this is what I was speaking about, candle burning on both sides. What a disappointment on the first game itself for the fans for Team Elite. They show so much of brilliance when it comes to the mid-range battle, but when it comes to the close-range one, I think P and Rose just outsmarted them because they just made sure that they divide and conquer the team of Team Elite. They made sure that they sent each of these players in different directions and took down one after another. Nancy is going to be, facing the same fate as Sahil from the side of P and Rose after taking down the side of Team Elite. The confidence boost in this team is going to be so strong that they are ready to take down any team in front of them.
Yeah, P and Rose coming in hot with 5 eliminations, have to make it into the zone, which they should be able to do so without many problems. There's yet another zipline which will take them all the way up towards the Pochinok Hills and Peak. So yeah, they don't need to worry about rotations just yet. Second zone only, so they can tank this damage. My bigger concern over here will be regarding HTG Esports, because they were down to just one man. They revived 2 of their players just a couple of seconds ago. They will be in need of quite a lot of loot and resources. More than that, they will also require a space for themselves because teams are zeroing in on them. Coming back to its plantation, you've got HTG Esports. Like I said, they had just been revived, right? So they're going to be hiding inside the valley, while TSG are going to come up towards Catalystua, and they will be looking upon this strip. On the other side of this strip, you're going to have Black Flag Army. And Bhima Sakti Strip has always been one of those places where multiple teams can actually hold on, but they don't end up fighting each other. Although this could trigger a fight. Look at LKS. He's dropping down from the skies. Maybe somebody will try to take a shot at him.
It seems like nobody did bother to do so, but PVS on the other side. Oh my goodness, they're trying to avoid every single fight and get revived, and all they're doing is getting into another one and also be on the receiving end of things. It's Total Gaming. Got 2 early eliminations. It seems like Mafia is starting to get a hold of a sniper. And Mafia Bala not in the picture, as Delete and Insane is going to be Fauzi Ajay. Total Gaming's best playing 4, would you consider this?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a difficult choice for me choosing between Mafia and Mafia Bala. I would ideally have them both, but then I don't know who I will replace them with because all of these players are good.
Exactly.
So, yeah, thank God I'm not the one who has to make that decision.
I mean, touche to that, because I don't think so even I'll be able to come up with a perfect playing 4 when it comes to this team. But yes, we have seen Fauzi Ajay sometimes stepping out, bringing in Mafia Bala in his position so that team gets a little more aggressive in comparison to the normal game style. But coming back, we're going to be looking at how the circle is turning out to be, and it's an interesting affair if you ask me. Right next to Peak, where between Bhima Sakti Strip and Peak, and where Peak's buildings are going to be now getting stacked up. Look at that. You have Assassin Army in the bottom. You have the ACRNX on the top. You have several teams surrounding this Peak region. And the circle shifting away from here is going to make things so much more interesting. Oh! 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 Now this is where things have gone so beautiful for the side of Team Vasio. Again, they rely on Predator and Anshu for a long time, and I believe they've proven themselves to be one of the best combination for the team. But whom have they taken out? The best team in the lobby with 13 elimination. TSG gets eliminated. As on the other side, Now the circle has started to shrink, and they're trying to bring in two of these well-known teams against one another, where P and Rose, they are on an advantageous position, obviously, because it's very hard to take an uphill battle, and BZs are trying to do that, and P and Rose are just taking advantage of it. Lewis' position can be compromised, but still the shots are going to be taken against Sahil. 4 eliminations. P and Rose gets taken down, immediately gets confirmed, and now the pressure is going to start mounting against the side of P and Rose.
The pressure was always on them. The only question is, can they do anything to redirect it towards their opponents? They make it across towards the rock facade, but their opponents, Bin Zed, they're still kind of hot on their heels, trying to snap up. P and Rose do have the height advantage, but they will have to relinquish it soon and then make their way into the zone. Even HTG and Vasio Esports will be trying to do the same. Shubo takes flight, falls. I guess he became Icarus, flying too close to the sun, gets burned by P and Rose alive, and that shot is insane. KD got nice connection, and Bin Zed have been eliminated.
Oh my goodness, KD God, he shot down 2 players in midair, and then he turns around to do the biggest damage possible against the side of Bin Zed Gaming. And no wonder they call him KD God as of now. He's been doing phenomenal job until now, and throughout the tournament he's been one of my favorite players as well. Hoping to see him shine much more better on the other side. Black Flag Army, to give them a position like this, just gonna make the best use of it as Vasio Esports. Even though they took down the strongest team in the lobby, they're doing some textbook basic mistakes, due to which they're now left out with just 2 players.
Yeah, but those 2 players can also wreak havoc. But let's take a look at Black Flag Army for now. They have all 4 of their players alive. Behind them is gonna be one tiny lone survivor of Vasio Gaming, but they will not be found just yet. Their current attention is on Mokria. Mokria in also a lot of danger. The last man for his team will finally die to the zone, and HTG Esports are also out. These teams are falling like flies, Arka.
Speak about flies. I've been seeing that several teams are actually taking this a bit lightly. Yes, Total Gaming right now, they'll have to make it inside the circle, and again they're going around the circle. This has always backfired for the side of Total Gaming. They do not tend to head right into the circle, but rather try to clear off the sidelines, not even the back lines, and due to which they get caught off guard. And this time, seems like Vasio and BFA are the 2 teams who might trouble them. As of now, we're able to see BFA have been pushing in hard against the side of Total Gaming, trying to get those shots, will be missing, and facing the music. Shanky as Hacker, the last man standing, under immense pressure, will be getting one revival, but immediately he also gets taken down, and Hacker, the last man standing, will have to save his team from the side of Total Gaming. A valiant effort, it seems like it could go through, as Posi and Mafia, they're gonna put an end for him as well, and PBS on the other side also exits from the lobby.
My god, Black Flag Army, that guy almost pulled off a 1 versus the world clutch, but now take a look at this. They see RNX from behind. Assassin Army will clash against these maze grasses. Arman and Hassan, they both dive in together, having to face the brunt against Prince and Honey, but the shotguns in tandem will completely destroy them. Now, Lewis, taking quite a lot of damage from the zone, will finally be rested by Sahil, and both these teams are separated by just 1 hedge of grass. They can go around the side, but KD God, if he can get up on the rock facade, he will be able to find eliminations on the high ground. They climb up via the walls. They use the booster of the heights to cross this hedge, and now they're in the open. Even Total Gaming can take shots at them, and everybody is so vulnerable. Mafia trying to find their feet through the glue walls, trying to make sure that these one-way angles can actually work out, and he might just find some connections, but Total Gaming, they don't have that many players left. And even P and Rose have lost one. KD God and Sahil, they're hiding behind the rock facade, keeping themselves safe, but Assassin Army scale above and over. They dive on the other side. The peak finds one, and Honey from above covers fire. KD got eliminated. It's all up to Sahil. The last bastion for his team will fall, and now it's a 2v4. Total versus Assassin Army. Make it a 2v4 again as Forty as they manage to get the res in time, but he will be overwhelmed. Assassin Army pick up the first booyah of the day.
Goodness, Assassin Army what have they done? Especially Dafiq in those final moments. He not only put an end for P and Rose, but suddenly out of nowhere, he gets that first connection against the side of Total Gaming. And he does it so perfectly, grabbing away complete attention of the two players, giving an opportunity for his team to actually rush in against the rest of them. This is how it was. KD got the crucial player. They understood he's going to be the first one to get taken down. Honey puts him down, gives an opening for Dafiq. And we all know in close range, Dafiq doesn't miss much. He puts Sahil down and look at what he does. Immediately uses that Tetsuya ability, puts one player down, gets in closer, grabs all the attention. And from the other side, Jose comes in closer and puts an end for things. I mean, how well can you execute a fight when you have a team like this?
Exactly. You can execute it really well. Assassin Army, they take on both of their opponents with such great precision, with such violent speed. They finish those fights before anyone else has a chance to capitalize on it or even say the word third party, let alone shoot their bullets.
I mean, I just loved every bit of it. At one point of time, I really thought Total Gaming had a great opportunity. I did not see an M80 to be, and that is one thing which the opponents will have to, thank gods, because he had that AWM which couldn't pierce the glue walls, and that's how somehow they survived. But P and Rose, they could have pressurized the side of Assassin Army from not climbing that rock. If they had done that, then Total Gaming, they had an opportunity to take down Assassin Army. So a lot of permutation and combination on our screens, but it seems like the best team won that race.
Yeah, the best team indeed won that fight, and Assassin Army have clutched out several booyahs by just surviving up until the end. Before this time, there was no such sneaky business. These guys were in your face, up front, and ready to pick up a fight at a moment's notice. The only difference over here was that all four of them were alive up until the very end. And that's what makes it somewhat less entertaining, because we've seen them pull off clutches with less numbers before. You give them all four players alive in the last circle, they are definitely walking away with the booyah.
Absolutely. The team coordination always stands out, but when they have a man disadvantage, it seems like they're having a little lesser confidence in comparison. Mokria gets taken down midair, and eventually PVS. Then these were the few moments where I saw PVS outshine the opponents, and then immediately it seems like the opponents know how to tackle this team.
Yeah, they do indeed know how to tackle these teams. HTG was getting tackled by literally everyone though. They had to revive their players so many times. I kind of lost count. Even PVS Gaming. They were basically being cannon fodder. Before they could even land, everybody was being shot down. Total Gaming preyed upon them. HTG preyed upon them. Vasio took a couple of shots off of them. So PVS Gaming were basically distributing their points to everybody. They were the buffet and everybody was really, really hungry. But these shots by KD God, they were absolutely spot on. This is the thing that helped this team secure the high ground advantage. Of course, they couldn't hold on to the high ground advantage for too long because Black Flag Army and Total Gaming both converged upon them. Black Flag almost pulled off that clutch if it wasn't for Fozi landing the final shot.
Yep, completely agreed. But again, these were the final moments which we have already broken down to you guys, but we'll be looking at the most valuable player. Yes, it's got to be Dafiq. We did speak about this player just before the game started, that one of the strongest players in this lobby from the side of Assassin Army. And he has shown to us time and again that when his team requires him the most, especially in the final circles, he always steps up. 2,539 damage for the 7 eliminations and the 4 assists which he could register.
Yeah, good number of eliminations. He was also able to finish off these fights with quite a lot of speed, which is something that isn't reflected in these numbers. Sure, anyone can do the damage and get the eliminations, but to finish off your fights before anyone has a chance to third party or before any of your other teammates lose their lives, that's what matters quite a lot, and that's why Dafiq is the MVP for this game. Assassin Army almost always have been at the top. They've just been lacking the verge, or rather the nerve that takes to pull off these clutches. This time that nerve was not needed. It's just so good to see them play again and again with so much consistency. Let's take a look at everybody else in this lobby as well from their team. We have Honey with 3 eliminations of their own, Prince with 2, and Huza with 1.
Just the number crunching which is going on in my mind right now. just in case these assists were converted into eliminations, then they would have had a ball for sure. But yes, for now, they have around 6 plus 7. That's around 13 eliminations with that booyah. A good amount, to be frank. They can place themselves on top of the table. And right behind them is going to be one name, which did show to us why they are I would say the hunting wolves of the lobby, because they always go in packs to eliminate teams, and that's going to be the side of TSG. Where do they stand? They stand at the 5th position with 13 eliminations, and all thanks to the possession points of Total Gaming, RNX, and PN Rose, that they place themselves a little better than that of TSG Army.
Just a tinge above TSG Army, but that's still a decent game from them. 25 points to Assassin Army, PN Rose with 21, quite a lot of eliminations, even though they were stuck in a very difficult situation. Total Gaming, their finishes were stolen away by the likes of the CRNX and even Black Flag. And the few eliminations that Black Flag Army have, 3 of them, a couple of them do belong to Total Gaming. So, yeah, quite a lot of advantages that were stolen away. Bunzed Gaming still with 6 points. I'm surprised to see them over here because they suffered quite a lot of early losses and still they somehow managed to make sure that their game isn't an absolute waste. So I would say 6 points is a decent enough number to salvage out of a game where you were in such a bad situation.
Absolutely, because when you look at the previous round as well, the team to attain the top spot, yes, right now we are all aiming at the top spot, right? So if we have to find an average, it's always been around 12 to 15. So if teams will have to aim for that top spot, or rather be in the top 3 itself, they would need an average of 11 to 12 points at least in every single game. So yes, the first game I've gone into favor of the few who dare to take those fights, who dare to complete those 4v4s perfectly. But in the upcoming games, the story could be a little different because those Hungry Wolves won, as well as those Wounded Lions. Both of these animals are going to look forward to pick those early fights as well. Now, the Black Flag Army, and their initial collision with one or the other teams in the drop classes. Do you think it needs to stop now, or do you think that the playstyle is just going to increase with them taking those fights head on every single time?
I don't think the early fights are a problem for them because they always manage to get their players back. Will they be able to do so in the second game? We'll take a look at it now as we hop into the second game of the day. Keep in mind there's only 6 games today and all of these teams have to get as many points possible today to get themselves an advantage for tomorrow in the grand finals. We're going over Purgatory, starting off towards Moat House, and then we go towards the southern island between Central and Fire Brigade. I want to see if we get any more drop clashes towards Brasilia. We've seen plenty of drop fights towards Crossroads and Brasilia in the tournament so far, but nothing really towards the Western Island. So I want to see if that changes.
One change is pretty evident over here. The Moat House region is not being contested for the first time. Whereas again and again and again, we have been seeing this team taking those fights. It's Black Flag Army yet again going for a fight, and this time I think they're challenging the side of HTG, and it's not going well for them as 2 of their players gets taken down and immediately gets revived.
Instant revive. HTG are back with 2 eliminations as well. Partik will be hitting the ground anytime soon, and I hope that these guys can hit the ground running. But so far, Vasio Gaming are getting just hit, nothing else. DSG, this time taking names and kicking them back to the spawns. These guys could be in a lot of danger, but Black Flag Army are not done yet. They've still got a couple players remaining, and Avara will indeed be roaming around like an Avara guy in this area. For those of you who don't know what Avara means, it's basically a man who has no family, no one to call home, and just a solo warrior. It sounds cool, but you wouldn't want to be all alone in this kind of a server, not when you've got teammates, or rather enemies like HTG in front of you.
The audacity for the side of BFA to be in 4 different places to take those fights. Oh my goodness. I don't know for what is their plan right now. There's always been one person very close to the recall tower who's been telling them, go take those fights. I'll keep recalling you guys immediately as soon as you guys get taken down. But is that just going to favor them or backfire then when it comes to the overall standing? That remains a question, because the point given is always a point taken away from you.
Yeah, and the more you feed these points, the more advantage these teams will have. Sure, just because you can recall your teammates and you won't be completely wiped out doesn't mean that you should allow your teammates to be finished off in the first place. It's just gonna give more points to your enemies. It's just gonna make the life harder for you. Vasio Gaming too. Sure, they have 2 eliminations, but they had also lost a couple of their players, and now Anshu had to be brought back. So even they've given away a couple of points that way. And that too to TSG, the team who already has too much of an advantage. Ayush will be found. The P90 in Kaushik's hands proves a little too lethal for him. And Vasio Esports rack up their tally to 3. But they have now realized that the other members of PVS Gaming and TSG are also quite far away from them, so they're relatively safe for the time being.
TSG Army, for the first time, gets wounded in the lobby. And they fall back. It's a very rare sight, to be frank. Whereas the side of Vasio seems like they're on a manhunt right now. Or rather, they're going to be tagged and known. And the position of the opponent is going to be known as they were heading towards picking up the arsenal for themselves. But Vasio,
but they will run into TSG once again. I mean, this time even TSG is on the heavy moves. They've got vehicles as well.
Now that could be a bit of an issue if you ask me, because Legend as well as teammate, I don't think so, have the right kind of vest and helmet, but I don't think so that's going to be a problem to land headshots after headshots by the side of TSG. Legend 21, who has been the legend of this game until now, does 2 good knocks, 2 good eliminations for his team, and 7 seconds from now is going to be rewarded with the arsenal itself, as it's going to open up. Oh my goodness, what a gameplay coming in from the side of TSG.
Yeah, they wipe out Black Flag Army, and we always touted Black Flag Army as the team that gets away from danger, that gets away from troublesome situations. This time the Caster's Curse is absolutely real, and they've been put out of this game already, locked out of commission. You've now got Desi RNX, who are trying to pick up 2 fights at the same time. One from a team across the river. That's going to be Car 98 Army, I believe. And one towards Campsite, who are already on the move away from them.
Ronnie Negi, one of the strongest players for their team as well. They have been doing really good in the 4-4-2 battles. And there goes another shot coming in from the backlines, but Insane's retaliation has been amazing as he puts down Legend 21. And with that, even though the revival has come through, now he'll have to change his location, because he's just poked the bear and he can expect it to just fall back against him, hunt him down, as well as, Delete comes in closer to make things much more interesting for the side of Total Gaming.
Delete. Can he delete his opponents? We'll take a look at that later. But for now, Desi RNX and BinZ Gaming are going ham at each other. And BinZ Gaming are not having a good time. They've lost almost all of their players. They have 0 eliminations so far, and they've just fed Desi RNX quite a lot of points. Now that Desi RNX are done with this fight, they can head over towards their next target. That could be either between Vasio Esports and Total Gaming. TSG have also lost a couple of their players in that fight against Vasio Esports, so they managed to escape, and they wanted to revive their players somewhere towards Crossroads, but instead they will notice that PVS and HTG are in the way. So they're going to head over towards the other spot where they can res. They head over towards the lake on Moat House. They can probably get a res off over there, and in the same breath, you can avoid the fight against PVS and HTG as well.
Yogi missing a couple of shots, giving an advantage for the side of HTG. The AWM, when you got a sniper like that, you shouldn't miss much. And finally we are able to see that TSG are all 4 men standing yet again. HTG now going for a push against the side of PVS, and this time they need to be careful, because PVS, once they start to defend the territory, they know exactly how to place their players and who to be going in for the frontline battles.
Yeah, for now, they're doing a 2-2 split. You've got Partik and Darshan, who are trying to go in from one side. Mokria and LKS on the other, but LKS has been already brought down, so Mokria now forced to dive inside the house, hoping to keep himself alive. Partik from outside tries to give him some covering fire, and they will be able to wipe out PVS Gaming. 10 seconds, and HTG Esports are up at their 8th elimination. All the players that they lost will be brought back. So LKS can fly down towards the ground. But take a look at DCRNX. They find Windsmoke alone. And he's trapped in a 1v2. Hassan tries to find the angle above. And he does put down Windsmoke in the end. Looks like the double glue wall was not really helpful when your opponents can scale up height.
The intent coming in from these teams, the ACRNX, or else let's think about HTG Esports. All of these teams are now looking forward for only eliminations. They're not bothered how many points they're going to rake up after that. The big bulls locking ons over here. Yes, Total Gaming are not only going to lose some head but also some legs, as Delete and Mafia will have a great responsibility over their shoulder. Insane and Delete, both of them get revived. Tetsuya ability coming in from the side of Delete to escape this onslaught coming in from the side of Vasio Esports. Now she gets taken down. Delete is going to be traded off. Mafia is now flying in the air. If he gets taken down, then Total Gaming's dreams are going to get shattered yet again. But with that, Total Gaming somehow survives this onslaught coming in from the side of Vasio Esports.
Yeah, they do survive Vasio Esports, but can DCRNX survive this? Badal blows up the vehicle and his opponents jump out at the best possible time. Badal will be taken down by Arman. Ronan Negi tries to get the trade, but he ends up getting Windsmoke instead, so Car 98 Army lose one more. And DCRNX are on fire. 2-man advantage. They rush in for the finish. Vinod trapped, cornered like a rat. He will be jump shotted by Hassan. And now Car 98 Army are on their last legs. It's just Farhan trying to run away. Will be found by Arman. And Car 98 Army will also be eliminated. So many teams exiting early.
This is where you have to look at the point standing scripts. Look at that. The top 3 teams who have the highest amount of eliminations were not the teams we were vouching for. Whereas on the other side, Assassin Army, the team to attain the Booyah in the previous game, now trying to do their best. The peak gets in closer. The Tsuya ability come into use, but he's not going to find anybody home. Whereas on the other side, it's going to be Mokria, who's going to be visible in the eyes of Honey. Immediately the information is going to be relayed as they step out to see where they can take down the players. Mokria and Pratik, both of them escape by a sliver of HP, but Pratik did get taken down. That's not going to matter much. Immediately, he's going to get revived as well.
Yep, he can get back, but DCRNX just refuse to give up. They get so many more finishes. Total Gaming just pulled off a mass revive. 3 of their teammates brought back to the lobby. I'm wondering how quickly will they be sent back. But for now, I have a different question to think about. BinZ Gaming. They had lost a couple of their players early on, and after one res, they should be able to get people back up again. And Ronan Negi returns fire. BinZ with the ARs trying to get some long-range knocks, but Ronan Negi with that sniper is just too precise.
Ronan Negi, we were speaking about this player. One of the players to watch out for when it comes to those snipers. And all of a sudden the tables have turned against the side of BinZ Gaming. And they need to be careful. Look at the rush coming in from the side of Daisy. And they're going to be heading right into the trap, I believe. BinZ again gets taken down. Shubo and Ninja, the 2 strong players, are now also on the receiving end of things. And I don't think so. The survival of Team DR is going to be a matter of existence. As the last man standing, they're searching for this player. And I don't know whether they've got the binoculars to get him back, to get his location. But he seems to have escaped from this location. Whereas on the other side, we're going to be looking at P and Rose. Now P and Rose as well, as Vasio Esports Predator has locked eyes on him. Lewis tries to come through. Another shot is going to be connected through those glue walls. Yes, several abilities being used against them. They can't do much right now. Oh my god, P and Lewis also gets taken on yet again. Continuous shots, barrage of shots coming in. Another shot connects from the side of Predator. Another headshot. Every single time an opponent is visible in his crosshair, all they can do is kneel before his perfection when it comes to the sniper shots. Gameplay worth praises coming in from the side of Vasio Esports Predator. As on the other side, they're going to be pushed at from the side of Team DR. DCRNX Have they knocked on the right doors? That's the big question, as Vasio is just waiting for an opportunity to strike. Shotguns out there close by. And at a distance, we're able to see that Team TE versus PN Rose could take place, just in case they can cross this big barrier of wall.
Vasio Esports currently defending their compound with all their might. Vasio bleeding out rapidly, so is Anshu. They can't be picked up back in time, so they will lose their 2 players permanently. But Desi RLX have also been wiped. They were very close to that wall against PN Rose, and they will fall. Fozia outside of the play zone, trying to take some pot shots, will be taken out as well. And now Total Gaming are down to just 1 man. Can they actually pull this off? For now, Vasio Esports just 2-man strong, have to bear the brunt of 4 players from PN Rose. Nades didn't connect. Sahil ends up taking a bit of self-damage, but the players of Vasio Esports are locked in this house on the top floor.
Now, they've placed some landmines at the entrance, and that has to be one of the best ways for them to retaliate against opponents from entering into that vicinity. PN Rose have a vague idea. There's a team upstairs, and now they're trying to push against it. Are they prepared for what's going to happen next? Sahil gets taken down because of that trap, and Vasio are having the final laugh. Look at more shots being connected over here. Kaushik trying to do his best. Will be stepping out of cover. Is he going to be rewarded? It seems like he's going to be, as Lewis also gets taken down. Now Sahil is going to be the last man out there. Predator, a great responsibilities over his shoulder. Will now have to take down 2 players and go for the revival as well. Successfully revives and gets traded off, as Kaushik, the last man standing, still trying to do his best. Not only have to heal, but also will have to take a fight. PN Rose comes in from the other angle just to give away that elimination, whereas PN Rose is going to reign supreme as Vasio gets eliminated. What a flight, what a conversion rate coming in from the side of Vasio Esports.
Absolutely mental performance from them, but now take a look at this Arsenal. HDG are stuck in between Team Elite and PSG. The 2 titans clash against each other, and it's Partik who becomes the victim. This is not the defender you would want. Both the teams disengaged from the Arsenal. They both get out of there. And take a look at the number of blue walls PSG have deployed. They get all the way across the grassland, trying to find an entry into the zone from the northern side, hoping to avoid this battle with Team Elite just yet. Team Elite, they also call in a couple of drops, hoping to buy themselves some more space, buy themselves some more cover. But Assassin Army have a pretty decent compound. They will be forced to leave it, but this should at least keep them safe from PN Rose, at least for the time being. Insane. Last man for Total Gaming will continue to heal, continue to put on as many meds as possible. But Assassin Army continue to carry on. Pahadi will be knocked. Can he get picked up again? Yes, he can. Once again, taking way too much damage from the zone. Blue wall melters deployed, and they are going to continue ignoring them. They use the graffiti blessing, but they will still be shot down. KN God, he confirms Pahadi. He wins the sniper battle against one of the best in India. And now it's TSG who have all the eye lines on the Team Elite. The total shield, good enough, but still can't keep Mr. Jay and Piyush safe. It's all into the capable hands of Old Monk. And this Monk will have to go into a full saves mode if he wants to survive this one. Last man standing for Team Elite will eventually be finished off by Prince, and now it's a 4v4. TSG versus Assassin Army.
2 of the biggest bull-locking horns out here, as Tawfiq will have a greater opportunity to showcase his true talent. As he wants to step out of this cover, he's put up a big wall in front of him. Be careful. He needs information before getting taken down. He needs to know where the opponents are. Ayush is going to be the target for him, but immediately comes around from a different directions, using the Tatsuya trying to escape. Siddharth is not going to let him leave. Honey also gets taken down in the hands of Siddharth. Prince, the last man standing, will have to be very careful. Shots are going to be connected from every nook and corner you could find at this point of time. Prince is trying to do his best, but rather goes in for the revival. And at the time of blue wall, that is where teams are going to be back on their feet, and TSG are going to reign supreme to get that booyah for themselves. What a great game coming in from their side. I was expecting them to be taken down by Assassin Army, but somewhere else, those final revivals tend to show something else altogether in the final moments.
What a game, Arka. That final 4v4 was absolutely a banger of a fight to watch. Assassin Army on the verge of getting their second booyah. TSG, the table toppers, war-locking horns against them. 2 of the best teams in the lobby. They clobbered everybody else to find this fight, to find this battle. And it was Siddharth locked in a 1v1 against Prince. Prince has been the clutch master so many times, and Sadak has been the top fragger of the entire tournament. They both decided to stop fighting for a second, and then it became a battle of who's going to get the better revivals faster and who can get their teammates back up on their feet. It was TSG Army who went from a 1v1 to a 3v1 within a matter of seconds, and that was just way too overwhelming for Assassin Army. They couldn't clutch it out again. And TSG Army get the booyah.
I mean, this is where we have to speak about, the instant revival, the quick revival comes in with the Thiva. And what a time to use it. He created that opportunity for himself. He knew that there's a sniper in front of him. All he had to do is just keep changing location and then go in with the Thiva's ability of quickly reviving and making sure that he has 3 men at least standing on their feet. And I believe that, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the training which you had throughout for months together. And at one point of time, I really wanted that sniper shot to get connected.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see both of them connect their sniper and shotgun bullets. I did not want to see anyone miss a single pellet. And that's just me being a little sadistic. That's just me being a little greedy because I want to see more of that action. But I think I can't complain about that last fight. It was everything that I expected it to be and more. I mean, you had Insane from Total Gaming just trying to go for a heal battle in the middle of nowhere. At the same time, P and Rose, Team Elite, all of them pushing towards the zone at the same time, fighting each other and the two top teams at the same time. That is just all the chaos that I wanted from this game. So without further ado, let's take a look at the highlights. Let's take a look at some of the best moments from this game. And you can see exactly why I enjoyed it so much.
Absolutely. From the get-go, it was all about entertainment. It's all about elimination, where teams we thought couldn't go for that frontal battles in the beginning did show to us that they are capable of some few of them, as PVS Gaming were one of the bigger disappointments of this game, whereas Car 98 as well, they were just in every place possible, due to which they were taking down one player at a time.
Yeah, one player at a time is what happens when you don't get your trades done properly. And some of these teams are just excellent at keeping their players alive, such as the CRNX. I mean, I've seen these guys lose their players, but still need to do what to cover up. And while they have the advantage, they can clobber everybody else. Amazing shot from Predator, but it's Corsican who are also helping him get all the finishes. So much pressure on teams until they survive long enough to storm the compound. But unfortunately, even after they were able to get all the finishes, their finishes were pulled away by another team, and I see it after.
Absolutely. Yeah, but these were the moments which impresses me. Look at what has happened over here. Again, Siddharth, Krish and Ayush, all three of them are back on their feet with a snap of a finger. And TSG Legend yet again shining for his team. Yes, in comparison to his damage, there's no way the elimination and assist are going to match. But all the damage which he did do against the opponents, it's all worth it. It's all worth it at the end of the day, as long as your team is getting that booyah. 2,394 damage. His whole team was there to support him. And TSG, and I think they just needed a start. They needed fire to be lit at the tip of the rockets. And now since it's already lit, we can expect them to just shoot off.
Yeah, I just hope that it doesn't crash and burn, land on planet Earth again. Of course, TSG, by virtue of getting this booyah, should be able to get themselves at the tippy top of the leaderboard. The only team who could probably stand in their way would be Assassin Army, but they still have 4 more teams to see with them. For now, it's the Dark once again. I am not surprised at all. He's been the elimination of the entire tournament so far, and it makes sense that he leads the elimination charts over here as well. But take a look at how evenly matched all of his teammates are. 3 eliminations on Legend, 3 on Krish, 3 on Ace Ayush. It's not like any one particular player of his team is carrying the rest of his teammates. Nope. Everybody is contributing. Everybody's fighting on all three.
When it's Siddharth, no matter how many times you praise this man, it seems like it's just very little of what you do in comparison to his performance. Every single time his team needs a booyah, he always steps up, and no wonder he's at the most eliminations by an individual player's list. And at the very tippity top. But speaking about tippity top, we have got the side of TSG Army as well with 25 points, 13 eliminations. The ACR and X were in a different form altogether with 17 eliminations. In case they had survived a little more longer, I think they would have had a better chance of getting that booyah.
They might have had a better chance, but it's like they don't even need it anymore. They've still got plenty of points without it as well. I do feel bad for SCG. They had a nice amount of cover in that Arsenal, but they got sandwiched by two teams. So here you have it. These are the games of point per standing played so far. Assassin Army leading the charts, obviously, with that booyah and quite a lot of eliminations. TSG Army did not really do well in the first game of Bermuda. That's why their points are slightly lower than TSG Army. More. ACR and X have been super consistent, and their firepower is something that you cannot ignore. But they might just be able to perform well here, but in order to win the whole tournament, they need booyah. That's a problem that they've not been able to solve.
Let's see, 46 eliminations and 4 away from getting his half century, as Siddharth is going to be on top of them all. Krish and Legend. I wonder why I called your name, but no matter what, Krish and Legend, both of them are just going to follow up closely with 42 eliminations each, where Legend has done a little bit more damage of 25,637. Nothing taken away from Assassin Dafiq and Assassin Prince, because both these teams, both these players and his teammates have been phenomenal throughout, and the overall standing is going to speak for itself.
Yeah, the overall standings will determine which one of these teams will get an advantage tomorrow going into the finals. The team that is at the top today will get 10 extra points for the grand finals tomorrow, which means before the first game even begins, they will have 10 points in their kitty. And so on and so forth for all the other teams as well. But for now, we will be heading towards an interview as well. All of these players have been performing really well. We'll be talking to one of them soon enough. Arka, are there any particular questions in your mind that you would hope that our boys over at the Hindi desk will ask them?
I want to ask TSG what's actually going on in their mind, because they're not at all bothered about the booyahs. They're just bothered about the elimination. So what is the exact talk which is happening between the 4 players, and how are they able to coordinate so well? Even at the final moments of the game where the whole team is down, they say one of their players to go in for a revival rather than allowing him to go pick up that final elimination. So what was the exact mindset behind this final elimination? So we'll be heading there to see what they have to say.
एक अमेजिंग गेम पुट करा, किल्स की तो बौछार कर रहे हैं आप. कैसे प्लानिंग क्या है आज के डे की? ओवरऑल कितने पॉइंट्स गैदर करने का, ट्रायल बॉल के तौर पे खेल रहे हैं या फिर पॉइंट्स एक्चुअल में गैदर करने कल के लिए?
नहीं, पॉइंट करना ही है. 10 पॉइंट बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं. हेड स्टार्ट मिलेगा 10 पॉइंट का, तो वही जैसे खेलते हुए आ रहे हैं लीग स्टेज में, वैसे ही आज खेलेंगे.
ओके, मैं एक सीधा सवाल पूछता हूँ, ठीक है? जिस माइंडसेट से खेल रही TSG, आज 10 पॉइंट्स तो लेने हैं, तो अगर आज 10 पॉइंट्स मिल जाते हैं तो कल ग्रैंड फाइनल के दिन कितने मैच में ये पूरा टूर्नामेंट खत्म कर सकते हैं?
यार वो अपना वाला जो पहले हम फॉर्मेट खेलते हुए आ रहे हैं वो होता तो फिर ज्यादा सही रहता, बट अभी कैसा न्यू फॉर्मेट है, इसमें बूया का होता है, मतलब बूया मानना पड़ेगा 80 पॉइंट्स के बाद, तो इसमें कुछ कह नहीं सकते. बट हाँ, 10 पॉइंट अगर आज हम लेते हैं तो कल वही है, 80 के मार्जिन को जल्दी हम पहुंच पाएंगे.
80 पॉइंट्स तो मुझे लग रहा है 3 गेम में कर सकते हैं. आई थिंक 3 गेम्स इनफ होंगे 80 पॉइंट्स के लिए. TSG की बात करें तो TSG के लिए तो इनफ होंगे.
TSG के लिए तो इनफ होंगे. जिस तरीके आपने 81 पॉइंट्स, 81 किल्स इन सिंगल डे करे थे, शायद से नॉकआउट स्टेज का डे 1 था, पर थम्स में आपने शायद फिंगर स्लिप पहन रखी है, क्योंकि मैंने अभी नोटिस करी दोनों घुटों में.
नहीं, बस एक में.
ओह माय गॉड, ये एक दिखाता है कि ऑफ कोर्स मुझे रिफ्लेक्सेस भी चाहिए और अपनी स्क्रीन पर पूरा स्मूथनेस. अच्छी बात है. लेजेंड, कुछ मैसेज होगा आपके अपने फैंस के लिए? सपोर्ट कीजिए, कुछ कहना चाहेंगे उनके लिए?
बस वही एक बहुत टाइम से कर रहे हो सपोर्ट, वैसे भी 2-3 साल से, तो अब मौका मिला है, अभी हम खेल रहे हैं अच्छा, तो और सपोर्ट करो, यही टाइम है.
TSG का हैशटैग लगना चाहिए चैट में. धन्यवाद लेजेंड जुड़ने के लिए हमारे साथ. ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर 4 गेम्स एंड कल के लिए भी ऑल द बेस्ट. जल्द मुलाकात करेंगे कल के डे में और आने वाले मैचेस में. और
थैंक यू. चीयर्स.
I mean, I guess the intent was clear in his thoughts, and intent was clear in his talks as well. They're not at all bothered about tomorrow. it's all about today and getting the 10-point buffer, because teams like this who understand the value of 10 points are actually the teams who think like champions on the final day.
Yeah, and 10 points might not seem like a lot, but we've
Yeah.
seen teams not make it to this stage of the tournament because of 1 point. So these guys will have to keep on the pressure, keep on getting as many eliminations as possible, and dominate in the next game as well. Speaking of the next game, that will be back after a short break, so don't go anywhere.
I can see the red suddenly. Barely time to count up to 3. Look around at my company, yeah. The sky opens up for lightning. Time crawls up close, it's tightening. My brothers do the right thing, tapping on the floor. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my own mind needs you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not staying light. And if I'm right, I've seen the signs. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess to know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing I wait when I'm catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the. Watch the clouds break apart. Are we going back to the start? Going back to the start, yeah. But I'm feeling the fire all up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. But I'm feeling the fire all up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. And I'm feeling the, that I'm feeling the. Catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are watching Free Fire Max Pro League by Skyesports. On the desk with me is a person who needs no introduction, obviously. Has been casting with us from the past few days, but will be questioned by me as of now. I have one question for you. Which player has impressed you the most in both these games? And do you really think that person can actually get that 10,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees extra?
First of all, if I had to name only one, Sadak is the person, Sadak is the player that is always on my mind, no matter what, through the league stages or today during the knockout phase. He has done his best work that is necessary, and they are in top 2, Team TSG. They are on position 2. Now, Assassin Army has brought in some best of the game, Zarka. Now, they need to make sure they are consistent with whatever their thing is. Because today it's not the day where you can lose. Today it's the day where you can go all fearless and bring in the best of firepower. And I do not see any rotations, delays, survival points. All I'm going to see is, and also I'm also going to expect is, they are going to go all brawl, no patience.
I mean, yes, that has been the case throughout the day. Many teams have been looking just to get those eliminations. They're not at all bothered about the booyah, because they feel that, with that elimination comes the points as well as the confidence for the grand finals. And I feel most of these teams who are actually playing well have not considered this as just a preparation for grand finals, but actually to be on the top of the table. The mindset is clear. especially Vasio Esports, the way they're playing this. I've not seen Predator connect shots like that.
And they were very clean with everything that Vasio Esports had to run out. One of the in the very first map itself, they bulldozed Team TSG by pushing in, and Vasio won that duel. Now 2 maps already down. We already know about how well they have settled up, and it is always the mid section where the game changes and where the hopes changes for each and every team. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Skyesports Pro League Free Fire map. This is map number 3, and they have to make sure they are consistent enough, because every point matters. Talking about flight path, well, it is just about fusion where Team Assassin Army is landing in. Team TSG going towards the other side, towards Snowfall. There's nobody sharing the grounds with them, and I believe everybody must be scared as well to share the grounds with the lion. Instead, now they've turned themselves into the dinosaurs, where nobody wants to share the grounds, and they have covered all the spaces. But there's one team, Car 98, as always, who has started the fight right off the bat. But against them, it is going to be Team Total Gaming. Lost one player, got one elimination, and then revival immediately. Now that is going to be the case of scenario for quite a while. Mafia Bala does take down Swastik, 2 players down, 4 intact. Push coming in, it's tough where Mafia Bala might be able to survive this sort of a battle, and it's an entire elimination. This was something last on my mind, where I'll see one entire team like Total Gaming getting eliminated within first couple of few minutes.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that as well. Just take my bet on this. But what a gameplay coming in. There was a little bit of a switcheroo. We saw that Fawzi Ajay step back to send in Mafia Bala. The intent was clear that they had to go a little bit aggressive. But trying to spread away from that position, they got caught off guard by the side of Team Elite as Pahadi landed that final nail in the coffin. And SP and Rose versus PVS. Both these teams are not having such a great time. SP and Rose, to an extent, have raked up few points, but PVS, this is the first time I see them with 4 points at the beginning of the game itself.
Here we go ahead. Team Elite, 4 eliminations on their name. Car 98, the team to have an aggressive fight immediately, are now also losing some numbers. Team Elite finally buckling up. They were not on the bottom half of the leaderboard. They were in the between. All they have to do is just survive until the end. But today there's not much to lose. It's just about gaining, and I believe when there's too much to gain, to get those jump start points. But does Old Monk gain the information about having a player from Car 98 nearby? No, a little bit of time here and there, using the good blue or light right on time, and wing smoke will be spotted. Well, this was very easy for Old Monk to just move around in the open without any expectations or without any knowledge to immediately retaliate. But then comes the team support from Mr. J, which was extremely much required, and 5 eliminations. Team Elite finally buckling up and going with all strength that they have.
Now, all of a sudden, Team Elite is looking pretty dangerous to me. And the calm mind which they're carrying in this game, I believe might end up getting them the booyah. What a gameplay. Old Monk, as soon as he understood somebody is shooting at him, he did not think otherwise, but rather lured that player into the crosshairs of his teammate. As of now, PVS, they're having a ball of a time. That's the 5th elimination, and these are the 2 teams when it comes to the most eliminations so far. Lewis has got the double revolver, but is it going to be enough? Very low on HP. The positions are going to be revealed. Eco coming in from one side. Now knows the location. The last man standing is going to be shot at. And immediately confirmed that the triple takedown comes in from a single player, Yogi. After being taunted time and again in this in today's games, it seems like the lion inside him is also woken up. And look what happens over here for flying in the air. Nachub is going to be punished from the side of Vasio Esports.
Team Benzed here, they decided to just move out of sight, but Vasio Esports doesn't want that thing to happen here. Benzed, they would want to survive. Obviously, they are into the rock bottom of the leaderboard, in the last 3 of the leaderboard, but then they have to buckle up again. They can't just try to go ahead with an escape plan. Again, coming towards Team this RMX. They performed well in terms of eliminations, are continuing to do so, but then they forgot against them this time they have Black Flag Army. What a good fight. It was a 2v4. Advantage was all in hands of Black Flag Army, but they made the most of it. Now the circle is also pretty close to them, so I do not consider any delay there.
Look at the top three teams to have more eliminations. Black Flag Army, PVS Gaming and Team Elite. The three teams which did not have such a great day so far. Yes, you can consider Team Elite out of this equation. But Car 98, even they are starting to pick up pace. Vasio as well. Amongst all these teams, I wonder what TSG are up to. They were left alone in an island. I remember that last. And I was hoping to see them somehow come back to the mainlands as quickly as possible, get involved in fights. Whereas that's not been the story so far. Let's speak about Assassin Army as well as Team Elite. The two teams I do not want to see fight out immediately. Mr. J, Tatsuya, not working out perfectly. Will again try to change his position. Will immediately going to be taken down. Dafiq puts him down and gets confirmation as well.
Lost Mr. J quite early on, but sure he will be revived. Still on the grounds of Forest. Assassin Army, also number 1 on the leaderboard. They are very strong because if you look at the way they are executing any fight, they are getting the information going back and forth. Once they realize that there's no loss for the end, then and only they jump into that fight. PVS Gaming pushing in again. DR and Desi RNX now. There are only 2 players surviving. Obviously, they went ahead, revived, so they are going to go ahead. But again, revival with no good loot is somewhat sort of a liability because again, going in, jumping in into the position where you have to go ahead, grab some loots, and if at all you are able to reach the ground, if not, you go down as a flying duck. But here, it's the turtle race happening, not the duck. He was just holding like a stone and beneath him, and Prince being able to connect that shot.
Assassin starting to feel the heat of this lobby. As Team Elite 8 eliminations. There's a race going on between the side of previous Team Elite and Black Flag Army. But immediately Pahari gets taken down. Look at the irony. Gets taken down every single time in every single game with a sniper. Seems like the god is being punished by his own weapon. I still want to understand what's happening with Team Elite because in the beginning of the game, in the beginning of every single map they play, they have this wide spread which keeps backfiring, but still they tend to stick on to the same thing. Yes, it's rewarding them time and again with eliminations, but what if they get eliminated?
Just like Team Total Gaming, they got eliminated with 0 points. But today,
Exactly.
as per the interview with Pahari, he mentioned it right. He is introducing one more player in the lobby who was benched. And today they are going to go in as a trial and error phase. They want to make sure about how the performances for the day, for tomorrow will be for the final day. Because if they're able to... what was this sort of battle coming in from the side of PSG, and why was Farhan walking up in open? Legend will be taken down, immediately revived as well because the support system from Krish jumps in. Badal will not get any support system. Swastik as well as Wind Smoke are split in 2 different compounds.
What again coming in, Swastik trying to do his best to evade the opponents. He's not going to be rewarded much. This close range battle on the other side could have a different turn, but Swastik is going to be making use of his melee to get that finish. And I don't think so it's going to be easy for him from here on. The elimination keeps mounting over the shoulders of TSG. As on the other side, the last man standing is going in for a revival. TSG, they would be a little sad to see one of their teammates get meleeed. But yes, the smile is still going to stick on their face. 5 eliminations already. And they still have all 4 men standing.
Within the circle, having the advantage of height, and Team TSG, they've got the perfect opportunity to gatekeep them. They are the 2 competitors, and who takes away the 10 pointers, and now that is massive. If we had to ask the importance of 1 point, let's ask Team Non-Stop Gamers who weren't able to qualify with that one particular point. So here we go ahead. Assassin Army not willing to take a fight. Instead, PSG also decides the same, landing up into the same zone. Now 2 teams thinking alike, ending up with same outcome.
Oh no, shots being missed by the side of Aim God, but he does see Ayush in the background. They need to be careful. Will they commit to this fight? as both these teams are thinking that the final circle might form around this region itself. As TSG, yes, the intent seems to be right. They're going to be falling back as Legend says, I'm going to be the first point of contact. And you guys just support me. As Siddharth, Legend, Krish and Ayush. Thinking about these names gives me chills because TSG, oh my goodness, the overall standing yet again been completely under their control. And guess what? These IGLs have thought right as the circle forms right up around their shoulder.
Two teams down, Car98 eliminated. 10 teams, 39 players. It's like a pause before the chaos. Mr. J will be able to revive. Pahari was taken down by the sniper shots coming in from Prince. By the way, Prince is also a player to watch out for the Predator type. He goes for all long range. Let's not forget day one where he went 1v3 in the map of Bermuda and gained that booyah. Again, talking about the third map on the very first day, he was not able to get the booyah but surviving until the end and getting some extra elimination points. So somewhere Prince is the key player for Team Assassin Army because the support that he provides, the damage that he dishes out, it's always never matching the eliminations as well as hustle. But that is the way he's denying the entry. But there's one more team who is denying the entry or the existence of Linz Gaming here. They see RNX pushing against Linz Gaming, who have had a struggling day from the start, and again they are struggling bad to survive, and there's no way they can survive until and unless Shubho gives the counter fire, retaliates with shotgun connections, getting some knocks on his name, but he will be taken down as well. Now it's hard for them to survive furthermore. And they are eliminated.
Yep, correctly pointed out. Vincent Gaming, they were looking promising from the get-go, but it seems like this time the story is different. PN versus the side of PVS. Oh, PN. I mean, I like this approach coming in from their side. As soon as they understand that it's a deadlock, they immediately change that position. They tend to get to the nearest hard compound and try to play the game safe. Yes, only 2 men standing. They need to be careful. Sile gets taken down and Lou is the last man. Somehow trying to hold on to his nerves. I hope that he is able to revive more of his teammates.
Team PVS, 10 eliminations. On the edge of the circle. Circle is going to take a shift real soon. PN Rose, well, let's also talk about Team PN Rose. They have been very consistent throughout the day, but it is the final map here for the first half of the day where they are just surviving. As soon as I talk about them, they get eliminated. They were consistent enough for first 2 maps at least. PN Rose getting eliminated. Vasio Esports, the only team within the circle now. They do have some sort of advantage, which is holding the circle before anyone does. Gives them the room of opportunity to hang around in the best of the compounds. But they are also the center of attraction there, knowing that there's a team there that particular compound will be the first one to get attacked. Circle has taken a shift. Team TSG also entering the circle. Team Assassin Army, Team HTG, Team Elite. They still have to make a move to enter the circle, and they are going passive for a while. They are going passive to see about if they are being gate kept or are they going to get attacked from the back of the map. So now this is very crucial points for the teams like HTG Gaming, Team Elite. They see RNX safe shore.
PVS versus VE. As Vasio Esports, they need to be careful because yes, nobody to backstab them, but BFA have slowly somehow creeped up. And once they understand they have an opportunity, they'll also try to, fight back. As Vasio Esports, being the patty in the sandwich, trying to do their best to hold back both the sides. PBS now concentrate on another corner altogether. Will be putting down low air. Will be getting that confirmation as well. 12 eliminations strong. PBS, another team altogether.
HTG Esports have got one player down on the knees. Will that player be revived? No, he will not. And here we go, Team Elite struggling to just enter the circle. Delayed rotations have never paid them enough, but still they are going in with the same strategy, and it's the third day for them to participate in this event. Here, Team PVS Gaming is not allowing anyone to enter the circle. They are gatekeeping at the best with the height advantage, and Rethi with the long range weapon in his hand is doing all the trouble. Assassin Army being pushed by HTG, losing players. Zap 18 also having some sort of shotguns in his hand, and they see RNX getting decimated eliminated Team TSG. Having an information about the players of Team Assassin Army, they are shut as well in Zap 18. The last man for Team Elite will also be put to sleep in no time, and 4 teams remaining. HTG also down and out. TSG and PVS Army out, the only 2 teams to enter double-digit club in terms of elimination, and other players, Pasio Esports, going as safe as possible. As soon as I say that, now Team TSG are in the crosshairs of Team PVS.
PVS needs to be careful. They've got a very good position. They had a very good position, to be frank, and now will have to make it inside the circle. Black Flag Army, everything written in their name for now to lose this game. I don't think so. They'll have to, involve themselves too much into fights, but they'll have to strike when the iron is hot. TSG versus PVS versus the side of Vasio Esports. 3 teams trying to lock horns as BFA from a distance is watching all of this take place. Yes, as of now, PVS versus VE is now kicking off. Yes, 2 of the player gets taken down, and now things are going to turn hard for them as TSG is just going to get both these players. Manish is trying to make through. Anshu as well is getting a lot of damage from the blue zone. Will also have to make it inside. Anshu, given all the information, now needs to be careful as Manish also gets taken out. And with that, that's the end of another team altogether. TSG Legend, the last man standing. Can he hold back the side of BFA? No, that's not going to be the case. And the Booyah is going to be snatched away by the side of Black Flag Army. What a patience gameplay coming in from their side. They waited, and once they stuck until they got that Booyah.
Black Flag Army had the balcony tickets for the theatre where they were able to see the actions coming in from other 3 teams, and they had the perfect ticket to enter as well in the action field, and they got their Booyah with all the eliminations. Here, if we consider the amount of eliminations that multiplied, they had 14 by the end, and this was the balcony ticket that they had 7 eliminations on their name, and then just rushing in, they took player by player from TSG. Last man definitely surprised a little longer. Talking about the team Vasio Esports, they went a little back and forth, but that did not last any longer, and it was all about Legend. There's not much that they could have done, and it was total of 12 eliminations. 5 eliminations with perfect zone prediction. That is exactly what Black Flag Army is about, and I have been mentioning them over and over time because they are very decisive about when they want to take fight and when they want to just hold.
I mean, I still have to say that since nothing was going right for them throughout the day, this was one of the best approach for them. To hold back, to make sure that they have the proper circle control, forget about what's happening in front of them, understand the topography, only strike when the iron is hot. So few of these things have already gone right for them. With that kind of a confidence in moments to come, we can expect them to play better in the rest of the few maps.
Yeah, and for the day, for this particular map, let's jump in, re-witness the action in map number 3 of Skyesports Pro League FFM. Max Team Elite initiated the fight very strongly on the grounds of Forest, where they also won a lot of elimination points. Today, the worst day of performance has been for Team BinZ Gaming. I have not seen a single battle where they have successfully evaded or won the grounds. It is all about losing numbers, revival, again losing players, and then at the end of the day getting eliminated. Assassin Army, strongest start, continuing to stay strong. Even for this particular map, sure they were not in top 3, but they've gotten enough elimination points to still stand tall on podium of the scoreboard.
These were the moments where I really thought that Assassin Army would actually show us some more brilliance. But yes, nothing taken away from them. They went to us in a peculiar situation, a peculiar spot where they couldn't survive for a long time. But TSG, their recovery throughout this game has been phenomenal. Every single time the player got taken, immediate revivals coming in, and that way for their survival until the top 2.
Ooh. Yes, Prince and his sniper, the way he's shutting down Pahari, it's actually treat to watch, and let's hope he continues to do so throughout the remaining tournament. Mr. Jay struggling to enter the circle. Not only him, instead Team Elite's delayed rotation is punishing them rather reaping any rewards. Vasio Esports, after 6 eliminations, they also choked to getting eliminated. TSG's last man, he couldn't survive. Obviously, it was 1v3 with no hard cover to have a control over, to move back and forth, and Team TSG gets position 2. But talking about most valuable player, it has to be Avijit with 5 eliminations and 4 assists, 1850 worth of damage.
I mean, yes, I was expecting some other name to be popping up, but obviously this man has outshined everybody else when it comes to the side of Black Flag Army. Yes, minimum damage. I couldn't be more clinical than this with 4 assists, but his teammates were also, just supporting him because since they evaded most of those fights, they tried to play it as safe as possible. I think this is the best outcome BFA could ever get. But in the overall standing, I'm expecting some big names to be there when it comes to the more eliminations being taken from a certain team. But BFA 4-2-2-5, that makes it a total of 13 eliminations, if my math is right.
It's
Yes.
absolutely correct. It's total of
Okay.
13 eliminations and Abhijit getting the title of MVP. Look at the knockdowns as well, the counter of knockdowns. 5 coming in from Abhijit. Sure, the players on the other side were able to revive their teammate, but he delayed the entry. He delayed their entry in the circle or maybe delayed the fight for the teammates to again come to a position where they can
Yeah.
win the duel. So he
Yeah.
has done the best that any player could have done.
Done. At the same time, we would look at the game standing to see how things will turn out for the rest of the teams. Not far away. All thanks to their eliminations, TSG and PBS are going to be catching up closely. Even though Black Flag Army have got 25 points, the spotlight is going to be shared with TSG Army and PBS Gaming with 23 and 22 points. Following up, after that is going to be a set of teams very close to one another. Team Elite with 15, Vasio with 14, and Assassin with 11. All thanks to their elimination points of 6, 9, and 7, respectively.
Team Total Gaming with 0 points in this map. That is going to affect their overall positioning for sure. But let's talk about TSG Army again going in on number 1 position with 61 points. And the difference between position 1 and 2 is fair enough to catch up to. But Assassin Army did not have a strong map number 3, that is map of Alpine. They have to make sure they continue to give what they gave in first and second map. They see RNX coming very close. Now talking about position 4 until position number 7. They are all in the pointers of 30s and they have got the maximum number of competition because the score is going to be shared very minutely from position 4 until 6.
I mean, any team which is on the bottom, if they get a 30-pointer in any of these games, now they have a very strong competition for the top spot. Yes, we are still halfway through the day. We have got 3 more games to be played. One amongst them is going to be a unique map which is going to be picked up randomly. Keeping all these points in mind, I still feel the competition is healthy within the lobby. Yes, TSG Army as well as Team Elite, these are the teams who need to be targeted for the rest of them to have a chance to climb up the ladder. But I feel the strategies coming in from the other teams are also going to look pretty promising. Now, I know the next question is going to be a little bit of a confusion even for you as well as me, but what's actually happening with Total Gaming?
The urge to have an immediate fight, I believe that is something that's not working for them because they had an urge to fight. Sure, they could have gone for that fight with a split of 1:3. They all landed up at the exact position, then picking up fight and getting eliminated. I mean, it took them nowhere, not even a single elimination point, no placement point. So the way they were going in previous days, just like going in for the split, I'm not saying all scattered split because Total Gaming also have a tendency to land up all 4 players differently. So not that exactly, but yeah, 2:2 would be the safest bet. If not that, 1:3 always is the prime way to win for 3 versus 4 duel. As well as again, if they lose it, they have the opportunity to be revived.
Now, somewhere I feel one more thing which is actually hindering their performance is the underconfidence Fauzi Haja is actually feeling. Immediately after the first 2 games where they had a decent run, Mafia Bala gets replaced. Mafia Bala comes in his position. Now, I feel that Fauzi Haja is a better IGL in comparison to Mafia Bala. Nothing taken away from his talent. It's because of that experience in those final circles which can just allow them to take a better decision. Now, if I have to ask you, is the intent coming in from the Mafia Bala the right kind when it comes to a lobby like this? Because Mafia Bala tries to take his team more aggressively than that of Fauzi Haja.
I've got no say about who can do it better, but something that I have to say about Team Total Gaming, they are the comeback kings and I have seen them performing the best way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading towards the 4th map for the day. Middle segment will come to an end with the map of Kalahari, and this is Free Fire Max. flight path. Spread out should not be a problem, but I always keep an eye on Council Hall about who is going to take a leap there, and I believe it is PVS.
Now, PVS heading towards the side of Council Hall with the blue as well is just going to attract some more attention. And before I could complete my sentence, I can see that Vasio Esports, they're trying to head in towards the confinement region. Now, Team Elite will go to Council Hall and leaving PBS back at Bayfront. These are the corners in which I would love to see the first point of contact, whereas BFA for the first time is just going to land safe. The split, everybody are just respecting one another when it comes to the drop locations, and I believe the 1v3 split is pretty much visible in every single team right now.
And that is exactly the thing should have been. Now everybody has realized it is only 3 maps remaining to those extra crucial head start points, which is a point right. And now again talking about the it's obviously going to be centralized. Like talking about PBS gaming, they are on the grounds of Bayfront, no sharing grounds with no one. Confinement, Vasio Esports, Council Hall, Team Elite. Now these are the two teams that might end up with a fight. But before that, Black Flag Army, they are nearby, and against Desi RNX. I don't think they have got enough time to have whatever best loots, but yeah, they have enough to go ahead and pick up fight against anyone. And this is the grounds of Mammoth, where you do have little bit of shelter, but not entirely. And UAV was deployed to get the information. Arman has enough, and here we go. Hassan will be spotted and will be taken down by Avijit, who was the MVP for the previous map. Momentum going strong.
Yeah, Ronnie also gets taken down. They need to be careful, because from here on they have a bit of a man advantage, but how will they convert that man advantage is going to be the big question. Hacker uses the grapple gun, wants to get closer to the opponents. He needs to be careful. Shanky gets taken down. The trade is going to be coming in. Look at how Hacker is going to be swinging from one corner to the other. Urban also gets taken down almost, all thanks to that low on edge. Hacker is going to have so much more confidence to just him. Salu is just going to be biting his teeth and running away from this position. Hacker and Shanky, the two men standing, all of a sudden, Desi Army RNX are looking strong, and BF have just walked into the job.
This shotgun definitely got him one, but could not continue. Desi RNX are going to make sure that Black Flag Army has a bad day here. Players will be revived, sure. And the players are landing. They revived and landing right at the same ground. Now that is very much of a risk. But here goes container fight. 2 players choked in container. Team HTG entering when 2 teams were at the weakest points and earns 2 eliminations on their name. Now HTG's rotations I believe, was just perfectly timed to get into a third party situation, because they were nowhere near close. They were rotating sure to get the center.
Now, this is what homework does to you. It gives you an edge. It keeps you happy. It also helps you understand where the initial fight could take place. Now, capitalizing on those moments have been HTG. This is not the first time we are seeing brilliance like this being showcased from their side. Yes, with that, a confirmation comes that DCR and Next have been eliminated from the lobby. As PVS now in close proximity towards the side of K98. PVS had a good decent run in the previous game, and they need to replicate that. Do they have an idea that they can be found? All 4 of them are now stacked up in a single building, and in the mini-map, I can see another snakes lurking, slowly coming into this fight in the name of Total Gaming.
Team Total Gaming, they lost very badly in the previous map. They want to make sure they compensate. Team PVS, they had a good start. They are making sure to continue with whatever they are doing because it's working. Team HTG Esports to not only have 3 eliminations on their name, but also the team who has eliminated the existence of Desi RNX. The team to initiate the fight is nowhere to be seen now. Bin Z Gaming, now they are also picking up some fights against Black Flag Army. It's hard time for Black Flag Army as well. First of all, it is Desi RNX who picks fight with them. Barely one of the players survives, goes towards the position, and where they were not expecting anybody to be there, because it is the right time where they are again trying trying to go acquire some good loot, where BinZ Gaming is already trying to take them down. Now Black Flag Army, they might be questioning themselves, where should we go away to avoid fight at least for a while until they get a good strong breather to pick up fights again. But it is Team Total Gaming, got a perfect angle, and they are not going to slow down.
Total Gaming, this is not the first time we are seeing these Eagles atop that tower. They have been really good to hold this position. Nobody can play this map better than them, especially if the final circle falls up in this region. And I can bet that you're going to agree to this point as well, Tanya. Whereas on the other side, we're able to see that everybody are starting to stack up towards the Bayfront region. Now, with the circle forming up towards this region, more urban warfare is obviously going to be visible. Whereas I still wonder where is TSG and Team Elite. Two of the stronger teams who look forward for fights from the get-go seems to be silent. And if I see Lions like them silent, I can expect them to end on a very good note.
Team Total Gaming, the tower capture, the circle, at least for a couple of few circles, they are going to be safe and sound here, because there's nobody who is going to climb, even with the grapple gun, to the towers, which is already contested by Team Total Gaming. They've got a good spread out. Coming back to Assassin Army, they lost one player against Team Total Gaming, but now it's fine. Vending machine is nearby, and confinement is the perfect round where they are holding on to, with a split of 1:1:1. They do not want to go for aligning their forces, because there is no fight happening right now. But there is a fight soon to happen between PVS as well as Team Car 98, exactly near to the tower, sharing the compound, but into the position where they might not even be aware, and as soon as they're aware, they might end up locking up the pawns. Now coming towards BinZ Gaming, they are again against Black Flag Army, being able to take down one player. Gyan Arup is not allowing them to have a breather, because time and time again, it's BinZ versus BFA.
BinZ, it seems like they're tracking the footsteps of BFA and been punishing them every single time. But Hacker picks up a vehicle, is going for a rotation, and in case Shubo finds him, the shots are going to be taken. There are some shots being connected, but somehow Hacker at the nth moment gets off that vehicle to get into hard cover. Shubo has got an intent right now. He wants to get this elimination, and that is what he'll be looking out for. Yes, the candle is burning on both the sides. For the side of Hacker, so does for the side of Shubo. The location is going to be compromised. Shots are going to be connected as well, as Shubo is trying to do his best. Hacker from the other side has got an XM8. XM8 versus Parafil, if I'm not wrong, and it's going to be enough. This close range battle, what's going to happen? Shubo gets in with the blaze ball. He's got that M590 as well. Shubo versus Hacker, shotgun versus shotgun. Who's going to take this home?
And here we go, jumping and shooting clean support from BinZ, hops in right on time, where they will be able to take down Hacker. 5 eliminations, all 5 on the name of Black Flag Army. A good push. I mean, they did not try to go safe. Particularly if you have to talk about Gyan Shubo, it was totally unsafe move, going towards the unsafe zone, tanking up a lot of zone damage. But now they have realized elimination points are going to matter a lot. Team HTG suffering bad on the grounds of Refinery. They are having the height advantage, but so does Team Total Gaming. They are on the aligned heights, and they can pick up fights. Sure, Revive will be the part involved there. Team Elite Pahari now also picking up some strong rifles in his hand, getting a knock as well as elimination. But what is it? Team Elite have the 3 players, have already pushed in. Now that was a sort of aggression that was missing from Team Elite. Siddharth down on his knees, the player to watch out for Team PSG has to be put to sleep. There's no way they can survive this aggression coming in.
I mean, the god of sniper has just revived himself, and he's making sure to pay anybody who walks into his crosshair. Zap now has an opportunity to take down Legend, but Legend is going to use the 100% of his brain to get away from this location. But it seems like the 100 is going to be counted backwards, as he's going to be landing up right in front of BFA and gets taken down and confirmed as well. Team Elite now building pressure over the shoulders of the opponents. And I believe this is the Team Elite all the fans were missing out on. Pahadi waited for that moment, and it's none other than another sniper who put him down.
The IQ that was invested by Team TSG did not end up exactly as they wanted to show, but now the circle has also taken a shift. It's all about the grounds of Bayfront. Everybody will have to make a move, particularly Black Flag Army, the team to rotate the last, because they were always kept by BinZ Gaming. Again, BinZ Gaming pushing against Team TSG, two players intact. It's going to be Krish nearby and Revival Tower. Exactly, the player will be taken down by Thunder. 11. Last man still remains. Team TSG is not entirely eliminated. So sure, Legend might be able to get revive, or it was somebody else who might be able to revive his teammates. We are able to hear the sirens. The circle again takes the shift, and vending machine nearby, upgrading anything that is possible and of the convenience to get the better outcome in the map of Kalahari. BinZ Gaming did not have a good start in the first three maps for the day. Finally, they are counting the things coming through in the upcoming maps, and they are giving their best.
Look at the splash of colors over Bayfront right now, Tanya. Every single team have made this their home. Yes, Total Gaming have still not got the complete foot inside the circle, whereas HTG, that high ground advantage against the side of Total Gaming, might backfire a little bit for the side of HTG, because the circle is going to push them forward. PBS trying to do their best to not only poke the opponents, but also allowing them to burn their resources. I hope every single team is prepared. And let me tell you, Tanya, we have to get ready to wrap right now, because this is just the calm before the storm. The next circle forming in, every single team is going to get into fights.
Team PBS holding this exact position for quite a while, and have already got the information of Team BinZ Gaming. Now this should be the fight that should start any moment from now. Talking about circle, except for Team HTG, everybody is in the safe area. Everybody is in the safe, so nobody's tanking up zone damage. And here we go, Team Elite against Black Flag Army. Team Elite is ruling the fight there, ruling the battle there, and they've got 4 eliminations on their name. 1 down, sure, should be revived. And Pahadi trying to escape because they just had a fight. They have to heal up themselves. And it is going to be Car 98 who is not allowing them that sort of time.
Time is going to be the essence of this moment. Total Gaming from one side, after receiving a very bad bronze, Delete is going to be the last man trying to lurk around here and there. Make it inside the circle is going to be one thing, but to survive is going to be another. Now PN Rose, they're taking a short jump. A very clever outcome of their jump to be sprang. And at the same time, is there anybody else to knock on their doors? It seems like nobody's going to be there for now.
Team P and Rose, they are on the lower grounds. Definitely they will have to pay against anyone who has got the upper grounds on their name. Team Elite are still outside the circle. As soon as I say that, make their move, enter the circle. And in this particular compound, it's going to be Black Flag Army, the one to have the one to be in the most outside of the safe zone, are now in the center. It's a fight of 2 versus 4. Team Elite giving a strong push again. There's no way anybody is going to be allowed to survive, but there are going to be trades. TSG Army will be eliminated and Zap 18 should be revived. They had the information and they used it very nicely.
Absolutely. Now we are able to see that teams are able to understand the intensity of this game, as HTG are now going to regroup. They're going to make sure they stick to the epicenter of the circle, or at least the closest they can be, as Team Elite versus TSG. HTG are starting to brew up, and Vasi on the other side, they are having a good run against the side of PN. Before I say that, Sahil puts one player down, and Black Flag Army is also be caught off guard by the side of K98, and they head back into the lobby.
BinZ with only cover of blue walls and Team HTG just around the corner. I'm liking the position of Team Elite. They have got the hard compound on their name, all 4 players intact, and they've got the information of BinZ Gaming, and they are already aware there's a player above them which comes in from the Team HTG. Now here we go, long range fight coming in from the side of Pahadi. It will be grapple gun that will help them to rise up to a height. But Team PVS, now finally the fight that was delayed for quite a while, Car 98 versus PVS Gaming coming into the action, 4 versus 4, upper grounds and lower grounds distributed, already aware about their existence. I believe there's no way they're going to pause this battle. If they do, where is going to be the tsunami of eliminations, where it is on the other side. Lead, Assassin Army and HTG. HTG have got the route of escape here.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think they're walking into another jaw of death. There's going to be shots connected from the side of Pahadi. Mr. J needs to be revived, but Pahadi's not going to stop. He's got 2 eliminations already, and the sniper seems to be chiming in the skulls of the opponents. And I hope to see some more bullets connect over here, as his fans are going to be rejoicing. PVS Gaming is going to be eliminated from this lobby, and Assassin Army as well as TE. Now they're getting closer. Old Monk and Jay trying to come in from different angles. Pahadi's got to be coming in a little late to backstab everybody. Honey gets taken down. Old Monk trying to do his best, changing positions every single time. Mokria from a distance wants to make sure that he picks up all these eliminations, but that's not going to be easy. Old Monk still trying to do his best. Pahadi, the last man standing. Can he do the wonder over here? He gets in closer. He connects some shots. He's also got another player way too close to him. The melee is going to be trying to do his best, but doesn't do much as Assassin puts an end for the side of Team Elite. What a sad ending for them, but what a fight they put up against them.
It was again Prince versus Pahadi, the fight of the snipers there. Now 5 teams, 14 players, height advantage sure in the hands of Team HTG. Gyan needs the revival. Will he be revived? Yes, he does. And there's the only team with 4 players on their name is BinZ Gaming. If they go a little passive about their fight, if they go a little passive about trying to go ahead and survive, I believe that should bring in the best outcome. If not, they go aggro, they might lose in numbers again. It will be equal. Lots of monster truck also coming down, and throwables invested. HTG as well as K98 will be the victims here from the side of Assassin Army, as well as PN Rose's 1 player. Yes, I am repetitively seeing one of the person from PN Rose definitely tend to survive in top 5, and that is how they're bagging those placement points.
Absolutely, and it's not easy for you to survive a lobby like this. A bit of a footstep given away, they're going to track you down. They're going to just come right at you to put an end to you. Look at what HTG is doing. Pratik and his teammate, as always, is going to be on top of that building and just going to make themselves very close to the ground. The one with the nature right now has to be the side of BinZ Gaming. They can't lose this game as they've got more topography than the others. PN, his location is going to be compromised. Lewis is trying to do his best. Farhan will have to step out of cover. Immediately puts an end for the side of Lewis as well. But the push comes in from the top. Assassin Army going to be pushing in. And we're able to see that player after player getting taken down. Shubo, the last man standing. Can he retaliate over here? No way! As 2 of these players are going to just decimate the opponents. As Assassin Army are looking unstoppable in this game. And Car98 just wants to come in to chime in over here. He's going to be getting the same fate as well. Farhan gets taken down. A 2v2 fight. Mokriya says, I'm going to push my luck this time. And he's going to be pushing in as well. Assassin Army not stopping whatsoever. They want to track out the 2 other players. They want to make sure they have more eliminations in their hands. Can they do it? Is the big question.
HTG 6 eliminations. Blue wall will be destroyed as well. Mukti on the other hand takes down Dafik with the shotgun, and here continues to push in circle. Will also take the final shrink, and the blue wall will be the only cover. It's the status of this particular compound where all the fights are going to happen, and destiny for Assassin Prince will be written with the name of Yuya on the grounds of Kalahari. Amazing play, particularly Prince, the way he supports his teammate. Dafik as well, never hesitant to enter the fight.
Oh my goodness, Assassin Army, what happened to them in the final moments of this game? I really like that they took that chance. They just jumped into that building. 4 players inside. They didn't even bother what was happening to them. They were like, you know what? We are confident. We will put them down. And that's what they did. We're going to be reliving these moments because this was the moment they've got that confidence. Prince just jumping over his teammate to connect those shots. It shows the caliber of this team. They've got every single player out there with this different game style and which is supporting them perfectly.
And if everything is supporting you wisely in terms of elimination, surviving, and not only that, there's a cherry on top. They are able to survive until they gain a Booyah. Now that is something Assassin Army showed us on day 1. I missed this sort of a play on day 3 on their participation day. But now again, they are going all aggro. They do not want to survive. They want to make sure they end up in a fight which ends up in getting some elimination points. Ensure they're able to win those sort of battle. One player being quite farther away is always able to revive them back.
I mean, I couldn't have asked for a more entertaining game before, I take a small leave for now. But BFA, now these were the moments. I mean, I do understand how come BFA were always amongst teams to get taken down. From the get-go, they had a very different topography altogether, but still they chose to get into a spot where they got taken down and ruthlessly get eliminated. Yes, BZ on the other side were one of the teams to watch out for. They played really well. They kept their composure. They came in until the final moments of the game. But I believe that this was the team which actually took a punch and then stood up every single time they were challenged.
Coming towards Team Elite's Pahari, the long range battle that they initiated and the push against Team TSG, there was no way TSG could have survived this. Sure, Jin trying to Krish deciding to use the launch pad, ending up in the jaws of Team BinZ Gaming. Team Pahari, again, this was a close range duel with a long range weapon, which ended up in their favor for sure. Team Vasio Esports struggled a bit because zone was also shrinking in and players were pushing in from 3 different angles. There's not much that they could have done over there. Lewis trying to survive until top 5, which was incredibly good because each placement points is going to matter. Assassin Army, 10 eliminations already, and there were 3 teams in the lobby.
Now look at how these two came in over there. I really like the electrotherapy, and it's just about that one man letting loose of himself. When we look at the most valuable player, yes, it's got to be Honey who did that close range. It looked like the close range battle was an easy day for him, right? And I believe that his teammates have also done some really good job in breaking up eliminations.
Honey, amazing player. Instead, I believe Assassin Army is one of the team that we have talked the least about, and they have been bringing in surprises to the position where Prince taking 1v3, rushing in a position and surviving until top 3 or top 5 it was as a squad. Now, not even a single team had all 4 players intact. BinZ definitely had the upper hand and advantage there. Still lost the duel against 3-man army of Assassin Army. So I believe they have got something in them which is for functioning just about right, and if this sort of a momentum is built on the day of grand finals, this team is going to be the toughest one in the lobby. The team to get featured on the Booyah board, obviously it is Assassin Army. 6 eliminations on the name of Prince, 2 assists and 9 massive knockdown. Now that is sort of a contribution that Prince is giving to the team.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. 3,244 damage in total coming in, and Aim God, all he had to do was just watch his teammates decimate the lobby, and his job was clear: give information and make sure you give the right kind of backup. Everything going in their favor, and they're going to be rewarded with 27 points, 15 eliminations. Beautiful gameplay coming in from the side of Assassin Army, and right behind them is going to be BinZ Gaming as well as Car98 Army. Both these teams were looking promising. Let's not forget that HTG Esports as well were looking strong, but ultimately it was the onslaught of one team which grabbed the limelight away from these 3.
TSG Army going away with 0 points, just like Total Gaming went in with 0 points in the previous map. Again, Team Vasio, Team Total Gaming, they are not giving all their fullest. Obviously, this is not exactly how they have been playing in a couple of few days. They are struggling, and I believe it is point rush stage that has given an advantage to other teams about getting a head start point without having any loss on their way, and that sort of a mindset is bringing in whatever is necessary in other teams in the lobby. Assassin Army still standing tall on number 1 with 82 total points and 21 points of a buffer between TSG Army. They were on 61 points at the start of the map of Kalahari, and they are still holding position 2 because they gave their best in top 3 maps.
Yeah, consistency has been the key today for the side of Assassin Army, where we thought the TSG could replicate something like that. The day is still not done though. We're able to see the 3 players of TSG still holding the top spot. Just 1 point away from legend in the race is going to be Assassin Prince, 43 eliminations. Whereas Dafiq is also running close in this race, 51 eliminations from the side of Siddharth. Siddharth 07. The first player to reach 50 eliminations, where several teams combined together was suffering to reach this number in 3 to 4 games put together.
If you had a look at the damage points, it was only Prince who has delivered the maximum amount of damage. Now that is something very good. Sure, there's nobody to compete Siddharth right now. 2 toppers of the lobby and top 5 MVP leaders. They are having the entire frame on their name. Now imagine if it's like it is a total of 5th day inclusive. They have been 4th day inclusive. They have been performing so well, and it's all about tomorrow now. Let's see how they're going to perform tomorrow. But before that, we still do have 2 more maps aligned for the day, and that is going to be the final stretch of Point Rush phase.
Absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, the next few maps are going to be coming on our screens anytime soon. Tanya, I still feel that you are not done for the day. I still feel that there's more to come, as more action to take place, more aggression to be seen, as teams in the bottom have nothing to lose right now. All they're going to concentrate is just eliminate the teams on the top and have fun watching them suffer. And I believe that's going to be the case. We're going to be taking a short break. We're going to be seeing you guys on the other side.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max. This is me, Tanya, alongside it is Crips. Crips, what do you have to say about Assassin Army? They are the epicenter of the tsunami for in terms of elimination points, and as well as they are better at booyahs.
Yeah, I think the only safe thing to say right now is that they might have a good chance of winning tomorrow as well. 4 games down, 2 more to go. It's very unlikely that anybody can overthrow them right now, which will give them the advantage at the end of the day. And a head start of 10 points tomorrow. Somebody over here needs a miracle. They need to stop Assassin Army because the number of booyahs they're getting is just insane. Plus, we've now seen that they are already a team who can get plenty of eliminations, but even in tough situations, they can hide out up until you require the booyah, which is the exact thing one needs to do to win the tournament in the champion rush condition. We've seen so many good teams, right? We saw Team Elite, good at fighting, can't survive till the end. Black Flag Army, amazing positioning, but if they don't get it, they don't win the booyah. Total Gaming haven't really been firing on all cylinders today. You have P and Rose, surprising contenders. They're coming up really fast, they're rising really fast, but they don't have the complete package yet. And TSG Army, yes, they are an amazing team. Yes, they're on the top, and they can probably beat every other team in battles. But if they can't secure those booyahs, and if they can't convert the second, third position into a number one booyah, there is no point. So, given the current situation, I think Assassin Army stands the highest chance of winning the entire tournament. But maybe I'm a little too early to make this prediction. Maybe somebody will prove me wrong. I hope somebody proves me wrong, because I want to defy expectations. I want to subvert everything that we've been building up.
And that is exactly the best of the Battle Royale Free Fire Max. Now, the duality of this game, the team to take away the Booyah, Team TSG in the previous map itself, now they were eliminated with 0 points. I mean, it's all about, in particular map, about where you are deciding to land, about how you are deciding to survive, how are you going to go with the split. And this is going to be the 5th map for the day for Skyesports Pro League Free Fire Max. And I'm very sure of Flight Path is always very supportive, but it is the teams who want to make sure they have the early conflict and early elimination points on the intellect tower. We are going to spot Vasio Esports.
Yeah, and so far only Total Gaming have been enjoying the Intellect Center for themselves. Up until yesterday, Total Gaming were the only team that went and landed over here. Now, there's 3 more teams. You have Vasio Esports as well as BinZ. And while these 2 teams are landing over here, Total Gaming have decided to dip out of there. They land on the edges of Intellect Center, so they avoid the early skirmish and hopefully go in time for the third party. Meanwhile, there could be another fight brewing on the western edge of the map in Museum. You've got PN Rose and Black Flag Army also looking to clash against each other. No other potential drop clashes just yet, but yeah, I want to see what happens when BinZ and Vasio Esports start fighting each other with Total Gaming right behind them. And it's not just Total Gaming. Take a look at Badal. He's also awfully close to that edge of the island. So even he might get a piece of the pie if he can time his attacks right.
BinZ Gaming have been one of the finest forces against Black Flag Army by being able to take down player with every revival. But now this time, on the grounds of Intellect Center, Vasio Esports is not that sort of a team who would want to go in early brawl. They want to make sure to go as slow as possible. And now the fight that you were talking about, it is Team Total Gaming against Badal from Car 98. They got their one elimination point already. Team Total Gaming, they had a very bad day throughout. Sure, we got one of the matches where they turned it into a double digit with elimination and placement points, but that is not something that you would want to end up with, because you have to come in top 6 to get those extra points.
Yeah, and if you want all of those extra points, you need to make sure all your players are also alive, which is something that Vasio Esports have been struggling with. Surprisingly, teams like BFA are good at keeping their players alive. You know, they provide cover to teammates who are even knocked down. Look at Shanky, uses the Tatsuya dash and breaks Sahil's ankles. Before he can turn around, Sahil will be finished off. Punch to death, Shanky will secure that finish, but where are the rest of his teammates? Elsewhere in the map, near Deca, you've got PBS taking on Desi RNX, and Desi RNX have been very, very good in these fights. Nice knock by Yogi. Can he confirm it? No, not just yet. PVS once again forced to dip out of there. They barely made it into this stage just by a few points. So they keep losing their members, but at least they can still bring them back.
Yogi just walking in the garden. He's not even aware about Desi RNX just being around in the corner, and he survives. I don't know how in the world he managed to do so. He survived walking through entire squad of Car 98, also successfully revived his teammates again. Black Flag Army, Vasio Esports, everybody has revived each and every teammate, all 48 players intact. And this is exactly what I was talking about. They were walking in the garden without even reading the existence of Desi RNX. Finally, Desi RNX getting the knock as well as elimination. Long range battle coming in from side of Team TSG. Siddharth being the man a total of 3 eliminations on his name, and now and it's very obvious why he is the MVP. He's on the #1 position of the MVP list.
If I'm not wrong, he must have already crossed the 50-point marker, right? The 50 eliminations marker by himself. He was at somewhere around 45, 47-ish in the previous game, and with these 3, he should be close to the 50. Hit half century, and he's leading by example. While TSG are on the edge of this map, you have another team who has been brewing up this battle. We saw PN Rose and BFA clash land against each other, but only one frag was found so far, that too by Shanky. Now, of course, PN Rose have called in their fallen teammates. They are back to a 4-man squad. But can they confirm this fight against BFA? Because so far, all these players are trying to get somebody isolated, and Avijit finally gets caught by himself. Still uses the movement to keep himself alive. Salut tries to save him, but he also falls in the process. Avijit, his running spree will be put to an end. His marathon cut short, and Hacker now forced to give up this position. Shanky very far away from his teammate. Can Hacker actually fight this 1v3? Tries to climb up, but he will be shot down in the end, bringing the tally up to 3. And once again, Black Flag Army facing an early elimination, down by just one player who is currently on the run.
It's all about Shanky. He managed to escape. He managed to run away. He will be successfully reviving his teammates as well. And now that is the exact 1:3 split. Team P and Rose, they will be sure in top 5 because they have managed to somehow put into a position where they are in top 5 by any means. But is it enough? But let's jump onto the different ground, Decca Square, where Desi RNX and Assassin Army. Nobody wants to get assassinated, but it is Assassin Army. They don't want anyone surviving near to them.
Absolutely not. They want their space, they want their calm, and they are the calamity. Assassin Army, having already secured 2 finishes, look for more, but they will not find the hidden players. Negi is already out of here. So, I guess this is it. That's the end of this fight. Desi RNX will somehow survive and try to get their players back up, and they're already plugged 1 player in. Meanwhile, Team Elite, take a look at that. These guys are going ham against Bin Z Gaming. And this was the battle I was brewing in Intellect Center since quite a long time. I expected that Team Total Gaming will come into third party over having the right one. He has working really well as he works in tandem with and destroys his opposition. Amazing stuff from Team Elite. 9 finishes for this squad already. And it's been sort of inconsistent throughout the day. They had an early elimination earlier in the previous game. But yeah, with 9 eliminations in the second circle itself, these guys have more than made up for it. And while PVS was running away from this fight, Bin Z Gaming got across towards the other side. Luckily, they will at least avoid Team Total Gaming, who were waiting on the edges to gatekeep them. But I guess that's no longer a threat. Total Gaming now has a new threat. It's Vasio Esports, Tanya.
Vasio Esports versus Team Total Gaming. Mafia Bale is the only player I'm spotting in this compound, except there's a lot of team support. And now there's going to be one more team aligning with them, that is going to be Pahari. He has got the height advantage, he has got the tower, he has got the sniper, he has everything to enter this fight. But before anybody can enter, Vasio Esports will go ahead, grab some elimination points on their name, and Mafia Bala will be decimated. Mafia again pushing away, not getting involved in any fight as of now, and for the obvious reasons, because all 12 teams are intact, and Mr. J will hunt him down because it is all about the open fields right now, and exactly he'll be able to spot him. Mr. J just survived the damage of monster truck. He moved it. If at all he was holding there, he might be tanking some different sort of damage there as well. Tell him at 10 eliminations, Pahari having the eagle view with the sniper in his hand. We know how destructive can this be proved for other teams.
It can definitely be very, very destructive. Double digits for this team already. Pahari on 4, Mr. J on 4. And they've got new targets, Tanya. It's the birds in the sky. Will they be shot down before their wings can fully spread? I guess not. Vasio Esports survived their encounter, successfully taking the launch pad across without losing too much HP to Team Elite. Vasio Gaming have now entered the zone, and they hold another part of boxing ring. Speaking of boxing, it's DSG exchanging a couple of knocks, couple of punches against Desi RNX. back to a 3v3 for both these teams, and they've got stuck cornered. The MVP of the tournament manages to spray them down via Kimber Pistols, going ham on his enemies, and he tips back in. Adeep with the great cover in tandem with Arban should be able to spray his opponents down, leaving it all in the hands of Ayush. Ayush must run. This is the number one team we're talking about over here. The movement so good, keeping him alive just for the time being before the chase ends. And TSG Army, very uncharacteristic of them to exit the game as the second team out.
This is the second consecutive bad map for them, bad match for them. Previously, they were eliminated with 0 points, this time 3. So they had total of 61 points and they will be left with 64 now on the table, because you don't get any placement points for ending yourself at 11th position. Now Team Elite also making the move. Vasio Esports having a perfect opportunity to gatekeep, but Vasio Esports will also struggle. Oh, as soon as I talk about gatekeeping and what not the circle takes, it's more sudden shift. Team Elite trying to go for this push. Old Monk as well, healing themselves, repairing themselves, and now this is the perfect timing. Blue walls will only be the cover. Both the teams are up and open. Tatsuya being immediately used and shotgun and on the face of caution gets one more elimination point.
Another in the bag. Team Elite up at 13. They just have to find one more to reach 14. They might just be able to get that on Predator. But little does Predator know, he's walking into the jaws of another team. Elsewhere on the map, we've got Total Gaming versus Car 98. Insane and Mafia now trying to exit out of here. You might also notice that Fozi Aja is not playing anymore. He's replaced himself with Mafia Bala. And both Mafia and Mafia Bala are amazing snipers. They need the range, so they get out of there. They walk away from the CRNX, dropping off Mafia towards the quadrilateral, and Mafia Bala himself goes towards the compound. Okay, they're kind of splitting up now. So this is an unorthodox approach. I want to see how this pans out for them.
This is one of the most riskiest move they have chosen to follow. I believe they might lose more players, but it is more about vending machine revival points. What exactly is forcing them to go ahead, or it is just the place where Mafia is on the hunt to get the information. But this is not good way to get the information for sure. Team Elite will hunt Mafia down, and Total Gaming will only have 2 players remaining. And talking about Team Elite, finally we get to see what Team Elite was built of. 15 eliminations on their name. HTG versus Team PN Rose is also happening. And here we go. Bin Z on the grounds of Decca Square against Black Flag Army.
Bin Z versus Black Flag Army. This is going to be a very important fight. Thank you. Oh, he dives. He gets the first amount of damage on the super. They're knocking them down the high ground. They're using the 2 walls to block the entrances. And now take a look at Hacker. He needs to be wary of any Bin Z players jumping down to surprise them. Elsewhere, you've got Vasio Esports also entering the circle. And this might just be a great entry for them, but Bin Z have been wiped out in a matter of seconds. Now even P and Rose are trying to get a piece of the spy. They've got Black Flag Army in their crosshairs. Monish is just trying to make use of this chaos. Undetected. Will not be found just yet. Vasio Gaming with a 3-man split have put Monish in a very awkward spot. The other 2 players have taken the launch pad across and they try to get to the center, but the shots connect. Katie God gets a knock. Instant Chrono Shield will be deployed to pick Shanky back up. But this Chrono Shield won't last that long. It's been destroyed once again. And the zone will push Black Flag Army out of that house. So P and Rose will have quite a lot of angles on them.
And they want to make sure they get those 4 points. Team Vasio's Manish going in prone, doesn't want to show his existence or his presence at all to survive for those placement points. Coming back towards P and Rose. Process perfectly placed. The moment they step out of it, the players from Black Flag Army will be shattered into pieces. Manish still trying to hold on this exact location by not revealing their existence, and this is a play occasion, but they've got a plan. Launch pad, shot works for one, but not for everyone. Salu will be spotted, taken down, so goes Avijit Actor, and here comes the end of Black Flag Army. The player Manish was waiting as a witness to support and inform his teammate about how to and when to shoot, and Black Flag Army was taken down immediately, and Manish, the information exchange point, was also taken down by P and Rose. A good compound, a good placement, a good range of fight that they are picking up to. Top 5 is a good score, but Team P and Rose has got that sort of a potential where they can spot themselves in top 3 as well.
HTG have the best compound right now, though. They've got plenty of room in the center. Team Elite above them just barely in the zone. They must have a couple of inches on the high ground to work with, else they will have to use their glue balls. Assassin Army, now they will also have to abandon this house. They're trying to take it for as long as possible, but they've got a solo member of Vasio Gaming above them. Total Gaming will bite the dust. They will not be able to withstand the pressure. Assassin Army and DCR and X, they both have to make their way inside the zone, and they will try to fight their way inside against each other as well. Adeep takes a couple of shots onto Prince, but he will not be able to connect all the shots. Aim God now having to return fire. DCR next trying to gatekeep Assassin Army, but they've got multiple teams to worry about on top of the hill as well. At the same time, Kar98 Army are also trying to get a piece of the spy. Vasio will not be able to survive this. Koshik does get eliminated, but now DCR and X, who are focusing all their attention outside the zone, have to focus on Kar98 Army. They're raining hellfire upon them. Graffiti's blessing will be deployed, so all those nades will be nullified, and this gives DCR and X a much needed room to breathe. They will be able to keep themselves alive for just the time being, but will the glue wall melters force them out into the open? They need to get inside the house with HTZ, otherwise no other place is safe.
Kar98, perfect active skill used here, escape the open fields with the good cover of this wall, but the opponents just on the other side of the wall. How are they planning to enter? Team Elite having the upper ground advantage, already initiating with some squares. Grenade launchers already being spotted, ADS being used here. A lot of that damage has already been there. Blue walls cover will give a good cover, but for how long will be the question here. Old Monk will be spotted, taken down. Immediate trade outs. KD God will also be knocked down for a while, but immediate team support hops in. Black will be able to revive him. Team Elite struggling to just enter the circle. Same happened with Black Flag Army. Let's see if there's going to come in any different outcome with the grenade launchers in the hands of Team Elite.
Yeah, Team Elite do have the grenade launchers, but in order to use them indoors, they will have to be extremely precise. Rose still holding the balcony room. Meanwhile, Kar98 Army are trying to enter the compound that HTG are holding. And while they try to focus indoors, take a look at DCR and X, who are taking pot shots at everybody that they can find. They know they don't have the man advantage, so Arman will just get behind the rock. And he's waiting for the fights to start so that he can start chiming in. Two different fights in two different houses. It's Team Elite versus Rose and Kar98 versus HTG. While all of this is happening, Team DCR and X try to be the third party. But they're getting bombarded. Team Elite get the high ground. They blow Adeep to smithereens. It's just Arman left from DCR and X.
The grenade launcher definitely brought in whatever they had to, and 17 elimination points already, upper ground advantage. Just beneath them, Rose trying to survive. Two barn houses, four different teams, 2 versus 2 is happening. Which two teams will survive to fight against each other? Kar98 using as many squares as possible to not allow any teams to just move out of sight. Blue walls will be destroyed as well. And here we go with the push. HTG Pratik also possesses M79, will be able to take down 2 players, and there is going to be a lot of chaos with HTG Esports being eliminated and Kar98 survive here. But Team Elite and Rose are taking a little too longer on owning this ground.
Yes, sure. Team Elite, they're in a bit of danger. But they will be clashing once again. Team Elite on the high ground have to force all their weight upon Rose and crush them underneath their feet. Pahari, all the dreams of Booyah, he keeps on repeat, but he will be shut down again from across the roof. It's up to Badal to rain the clouds and rain hellfire upon all his enemies on the other side. Wolver hops into the monster truck. Where are you going, sir? Off on a merry drive, are we? You will be shut down as well. Rose in so much danger. Arman now forced to exit. He knows he's not going to have much room to work with, so he's just going to try to take as many pot shots as he possibly can. But Sahil is the one who gets the confirmation. Now, in a 1v4, can Arman pull this off? Weight of the world upon him, but it's just way too much pressure. Kar98 Army make it look easy.
They had an amazing Booyah for sure. The way they not only fought one team, but if they had to fight 2 teams altogether, because one players from DCR NX is also eye on them, taking away the Booyah with a good chunk of elimination points. And talking about elimination points, Team Elite has given their best of the performances in this particular map. Let's see if they are able to continue or no. Let's have a look about the exact distribution of this fight. Monster truck moving in. You cannot move your monster truck just up in open. Height advantage in hands of car 98. B and Rose were not allowed to move out of this barn house. As soon as they do, Sahil was the first person of contact. He was taken down, and the last man was also taken down, which was KD gone. Then the final circle, 1 versus 5. Sure, there were some shots coming in from Arman. He also managed to connect those, but there was nothing much that he could have done except for going in outside the blue zone and self-eliminate. But this is not sort of a play that he would want to do at this stage of fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's going to save much by eliminating himself and not give his opponents 1 point. The best part about that entire battle is that he managed to survive up until the second spot. And there's so many teams out in the open, so many of them just trying to fight for 2 houses, 4 teams competing. I mean, the real estate prices on those 2 houses must have been through the roof if this was real life. But surprisingly, he finds a tiny spot behind one rock where you can't even prone fully. He was able to find cover over there and get to the second spot. So, hey, all is well that ends well. Free 9 points for him.
Grenade launcher that was coming in from the side of Old Monk was also used twice, realizing now there's nobody there. So maybe they did not even expect anybody hiding there. Let's start towards the fight on Deca Square. There was Assassin Army. They were on the go and they were up against Desi RNX. Sure, they did not have a good start, but they had a strong ending. Total Gaming struggled pretty bad against Team Elite, against every possible team in the lobby. Team TSG also were eliminated with only 3 elimination points on their name and nothing much. So there's going to be a huge shuffle in the placement points. They are going to be pushed down to position 4. And talking about Deca Square, it was highly populated until the circle took shift where Skyesports was already waiting like Army. It was also about Team P and Rose who had the perfect angle. Launchpad theory also did not work because Manish had the perfect eagle eye about how the players are trying to take the rotation.
Yeah, and this rotation was very, very difficult. I'm actually surprised that Car 98, they managed to scale up this hill. They put way too much pressure on their enemies with the utilities, and then they just invade the house. Unlike STG, who were waiting outside and, you know, they were trying to gatekeep all their opponents out, these guys did absolutely no detours. They made no accountings for all their enemies outside. They just lasered in on the house. They jumped right in whenever they got the chance, and they finished that fight in as quick of a manner as they could. 10 assists for Farhan. Sheesh. I mean, this has got to be some insane teamwork, right? If he's got only 3 elimination and 10 assists, that means all of his teammates must have contributed to the battle in some way or the other. So while he's the MVP, I do believe that he's not responsible for carrying the entire team. I guess this must have been a team effort because Car 98 barely lost any players.
And I believe he might also be having a lot of knocks on his name, because the long range battles that he was trying to take was knocking the players and not allowing the other side to just push against the entire team. And that is exactly why all the players were alive until the end of the circle. Car 98, Farhan. Car 98, sometimes when they play out of the box, unimaginable. Winning that barn house fight, surviving, and then moving on to it. I mean, it was great. Talking about the overall card of featured team on the Booyah board is Wind Smoke being number 1 with 7 eliminations, followed by Badal with 4 eliminations, Farhan with 3 eliminations, and Swastik with 1. And if we compare the knocks, Wind Smoke has total of 8 knockdowns, and let's also add up to Farhan's 5 knockdowns. The damage that he has dished is now matching up with the score after a lot of information coming in from the knockdown part.
Yeah, now you know why the MVP had 10 assists. It's because the person with the highest eliminations has so many. 27 points. Massive game for Car 98 Army. And Team Elite are also doing quite well. 19 eliminations in a single game. They were squad wiping right from the get-go. Like, they reached 15 points before the 7th circle even began. So that tells you how dominant they are. And after that, all they had to do was battle against HTG, PN Rose. They also got a couple of free finishes onto Desi RNX. So yeah, these guys were just insane, especially equipped with that grenade launcher. They were on fire. Desi RNX, difficult situation for them, but one of their players managed to survive up until the end. I do feel bad for PN Rose though. It was a great game for them. They could have gotten the Booyah, but finished off at 4th place. Still, they're in the top 3. they should be getting quite a lot of advantage. And Assassin Army still remains untouched, way ahead of everyone else with that double booyah.
Team TSG Army has tumbled down to position 4. They started off with 61 points in number 1, and now they are stumbling down. Right now they are at position 4. Team Elite with one good performance. They have matched up their scoreline with TSG Army, who are pretty consistent as compared to Team Elite. Team Vasio 10 points away, top 6 sure, and now this is the scoreline that should be continued. They see RNX with the elimination points as well. They are doing very good. PN Rose, the answer to consistency in the entire day has been, and thus they are in top 3. Now it is all about PSG grips. If they go this sort of a play, I believe they will be stumbling down again. If not, they can again revisit their own previous home, which is number 1 throughout the tournament.
Yeah, they can definitely do that. And keep in mind that while there aren't any penalties to losing matches over here, there is quite a lot of advantage to be acquired if you manage to get inside the top 3. I do believe the number 1 team will obviously walk away with the most amount of points. 10 points for them will be awarded tomorrow. So all these teams who are towards the bottom, they really need to start getting a move on. Car 98 Army, obviously, by virtue of getting this booyah, get themselves quite a lot of points, but they still don't have enough to push them into the top 3. And that isn't that much of an advantage. Last game of the day remains, ladies and gentlemen, and this map will be randomized. Which one is it gonna be? It's Alpine once again.
Black Flag Army again earns the room of opportunity to get one more booyah on their name, because they are pretty strong on the map of Alpine, and it's not only for today. If we consider all days together, they are doing very good on the map of Alpine. Let's see if there's going to bring in any changes. Assassin, it is only Team Vasir by far Krebs who have got 3 booyahs on same day. Now Assassin Army has got the room of opportunity where they can at least go equalize. There's no room or space to go break the records of 3 booyahs. So if at all they're able to get this sort of a booyah here, they will equalize themselves with 3 booyah exactly and equal to Vasio Esports. And I believe, if I had to predict right now, it is going to be Assassin Army to be taken down as early as possible.
Damn. I mean, if Assassin Army are that powerful, there must be something that they're doing right. But going into the next map for Alpine, Tanya, let's hear it from you.
It is going to be the exact analysis, and at the final fight, Black Flag Army, they had the perfect position, they had the angle, they had the safest spot here. Long range duels were taken from them from the side of Vasio Esports, Anshu, as well as the TSG Army trying to go ahead, pick up fights. Now they distributed themselves with 2 different fights, PVS as well as BF. Black Flag Army, realizing Black Flag Army took a pause, and they waited indeed for all the three teams to end up with the best of fights possible, and they are the only ones surviving without any damages. So exactly whatever they planned worked in their favor. There were 3 teams fighting against each other. PVS could not survive furthermore, taking blows from 2 different angles, that was Vasio Esports as well as TSG. On the course, Black Flag Army had all the position and best angle except for Sallu, who went in for the support fire for their teammates. Vasio Esports were also eliminated by TSG, and TSG and BFA going up against each other, where Sallu had a good room and good space to just push in and give team support, which was least required, because the close range duel won it all, and Black Flag Army won that particular booyah in a good manner.
Yeah, Black Flag Army was actually very, very dominant on that map, but they had a good amount of map control. They had an amazing zone to claim their own. And I'm not sure if they're going to get that luxury every single time, because you saw what happened in this game as well. They had a decent enough compound up until the 4th circle shrunk, but after that, when they had to leave the compound, they were fought by so many teams. And no matter how much utility they have, no matter the amount of glue walls they use, no matter what kind of dashes or Wukong invulnerabilities they use, they will be shut down. So Black Flag Army are the kind of team that can hold the zone if they have the advantage, but to acquire that advantage, they have to work really hard. So thank you so much for that analysis, Tanya. Do you think they can replicate the success once again on Alpine though?
Well, I do have a different point of view for Black Flag Army. They have got the perfect read of zone prediction, Crips. I have seen them. Sure, they cannot contest it for a little longer, as much as required to win the booyah every single time, but they do end up in the position quite early as compared to other teams. So remember Vasio's previous days when he was able to just land onto the position where the final circle was going to take place. Exact replication I'm seeing there. Black Flag Army has got some good zone lead. They end up into the position where the final circle is going to be created, and that is functioning pretty good. But then surviving there takes a lot of efforts, because see, 3 teams pushing against them, there's not much they can do. They are in a helpless mode, but zone read is just on point.
Yeah, their zone read is on point. If they can read the zone, get inside the compound, which they're already doing, but combine that with all the firepower required to defend that area, they will be take all the booyahs in the world. Can they do it again on Alpine? Let's find out. We are heading into the last game of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are watching Free Fire Max Skyesports Pro League. This is the point rush stage. Keep in mind that all these teams are fighting for a final. Can they get
Flight path being a little westernized here, and there's going to be blue zone and the tiny island where TP and Rose is deciding to go. I am shocked that PES is not heading towards that. They're realizing they have to survive until the end, because each point is going to matter at the end of the day. Even if you are on position 7 and 1 point of difference, there by not getting to position 6, you are going to refrain from getting 1 point. And it is non-stop gaming again who is realizing that sort of importance by not qualifying. Circle has taken its place, and also there's exchange of lead here. First blood to be drawn by Team Total Gaming here against Team Car 98. Badal down, wind smoke down. Farhan also very low. Swastik far away, and he's trying to run out of sight. Will he be allowed? Is going to be a question here. And again, entering within the compound, he doesn't wish to go out of sight. He's ready to take the duel. Swastik, the last man standing. Total Gaming is also joining in.
Yeah, this is a disaster for Car 98. Swastik will have to really use all his movement to get out of there. A booyah in the previous game and now hunted down as the first team. This is just way too much of a difference. This is just way too much disparity between the fate of this team. Legend finds the angle, tries to get the bump in, can't. There's just a tiny bit of gap between him and that blue wall. But no, while Legend is trying to stay there and get an angle, Team Elite are here. They finish him off. The third party has arrived. Swastik needs to hurry and get out of here.
Swastik, well, he couldn't. It was a tough spot to survive with 2 eliminations on his name, and there's a squad wipe early on within 2 minutes of this particular map. Team Elite with 4 elimination points on their name on the grounds of Forest. Not sharing the grounds is the perfect place to be right now. And as soon as I say that, the upper ground is already contested by the first blood draw, that is Team Total Gaming. It's a big fight. Team Elite versus Team Total Gaming. Except Team Elite has got the numbers advantage, and if Team Elite decides to push in, and particularly Old Monk, the perfect rusher any team would want with the shotgun, the Team Total Gaming might be decimated as well. But they've got the different plan. Team PBS on the other ground is again taking in some good fights, bringing in some good elimination points, and Old Monk is not going to let Insane survive like that in the same compound. He is going in on the hunt, and he has found himself an opponent, and
that is it. That is way too much carnage over here, ladies and gentlemen. So much that even the graphics can't keep up. Total Gaming Insane survived. Puts on the meds. He's still getting pressured. So much pressure. He will crumble eventually. Team Elite have been able to wipe them out. And Team Elite have had such a resurgence. Like, their third-party timings are insane. Even TSG was here just a few seconds ago. Assassin Army have now entered the scene. Duffy almost got that finish. Yes, he will. He actually does get the finish onto Olmong. Can't. The trade won't happen. But Olmong will be plugged into that vending machine the minute he's finished off. And now he's going to be wondering, what did I do all that hard work for?
Pahari also trying to push himself in to shut down Dafik. Is it going to be easy? It's a 1v2 situation for Dafik, and he has done it several times. Will he be able to do it again? Because Dafik trying to move out of sight. A very good repositioning statue. The way he's repositioning himself, he's not been taken down, surviving amidst two opponents with the close range weapon. He was successfully able to take down one, but obviously number do matter. It was one number does matter. It was 1 versus 2, and getting the knock was also a sort of an opportunity there. PN Rose facing the breath of some throwables, Skylers all the way through, and Team HTG not willing to pick up this fight, trying to cover themselves with the haystack. And now it's the fight in the open. Third party should be perfectly involved here, because if you are taking fights in this pattern, there will be other team eyeing on you.
Uh-oh. Rose. Hurry up. Mockery up. Taken down in the open. Teammates unable to provide cover. STG have been split apart and picked from different directions. The rest of TSG also in a bit of danger. My God, Tanya, some of the best teams are out very early in this game. We thought the games were quite conclusive previously. We thought we knew which team would get the most amount of advantage, but now everything is up for grabs.
Team Elite here is definitely doing something great. Finally, by the end of the day, they are bringing in something unique. They matched up their score of with Team TSG. Now I'm very sure they have pushed them down with 7 elimination points on the name already, and Team TSG being eliminated. On the grounds of Forest, Team PVS, they are trying to collect as many tokens as possible, because this matters a lot to revive your teammate. But it is Mr. Jay, who was recently revived by Pahadi, sharing the grounds with Team HTG. I believe they're not aware about their existence just around each other.
Yeah, that's not the kind of existence you want. Those are not the kind of neighbors you would want to have around you. Plus, they kind of all by themselves, you know, like Team Elite is quite split up. But Teek was over here, he heard the footsteps, so now he's called in some backup. Even Darshan's on the way. Mr. Jai will have to face both of them by himself. Can he actually do it? His teammates are still quite far. Projectiles rained upon Anshu. He's still trying to heal up behind that burning vehicle. Gets away behind the glue wall. Tatsuya dashes straight into the process of Rethi, and that is going to be it. Anshu taken out, but Predator immediately plugs him back in. At this point, Team Vasio has gone for a full reset. They don't have any more finishes, but they at least haven't lost any players, and they're not in that much danger, so they should be in the clear. And HTG, who were earlier closing up on PN Rose, they have now converged. But Teek and Mokria, both of them slightly far away from each other, but they should be able to get all the angles required. Meanwhile, you take a look at this Team Elite once again, doing so well. 8 finishes already. They control the entire southern sector of this circle. Currently towards Rivermouth, they should be able to get up north without much problem. Mokria could be in a lot of trouble though, Tanya. He's kind of cornered and P and Rose are closing in on him.
Ian Rose, there's no way Mokria can survive this. Short trying to run out of sight, and he will be pinned down by Sahil. It was a 1v2 and 4 elimination. Circle has taken a shift consisting of Snowfall area and Militia. There are only 3 teams within the circle right now. Desi RNX, Team PBS and Vasio Esports. Vasio Esports going with the very old strategy coming in from the side of Vasio himself, surviving until the end of the circle and then bringing in best of the firepower with multiplied elimination points. Right now, talking about elimination points, it's all about Team Elite now. They have been incredibly great. They are on the grounds of Rivermouth. They have long route to cut to enter the circle. Talking about route, HTG also have to make sure they head towards the circle. P and Rose on the grounds of base camp near to the vending machine. They are taking way too long to enter the circle. Assassin Army will only be the team to tank up the zone damage to enter the circle. Bin Z Gaming on the edge of the circle. Now Bin Z continuing with what is working for them very nicely, playing edge to edge until there's something that is forcing them to fight. And now this is the final map. I believe this should be one of the most slowest map by far.
Sunside. Roses. They do need sunlight, so, biologically. But can these roses spot for Teek out in the open? I'm pretty shocked that he got to see him, but now he's noticed. And he won't be able to do that.
Double takedown.
He wonders where these guys came from.
Here we go. PN Rose 5 elimination points, and PN Rose is the team who is able to fight in the open grounds. Now using the launch pad, heading towards Team HTG, Pratik and Mokria already trying to go as far as possible, but it is the entry of Assassin Army, the team to take the latest entry in the circle, has got the most advantage here. Bin Zaid Gaming not willing to pick up a fight here, 4 versus 2, but they are not going to be allowed to go away. Obviously, they are fighting the assassins of the lobby here.
And these assassins are equipped, heavily armed with quite a lot of firepower. They should be able to get all the finishes they require and take this side of the zone to themselves. They now control the southwestern sector. Currently, no other team is close to them, so they should be quite safe over here as well. But you know that staying safe is not something assassins aspire to do. They will be looking for their next target soon, which should be up on your screens the moment the circle closes. Third circle, hard shifting towards the northwest edge. A little bit of snowfall, the central highway, and just a tiny western side of Militia will be up in this zone. PVS already control the high ground next to Militia, but historically they haven't really been able to hold on to the areas they control, so I'm a little worried about them because eventually Vasio Gaming and Team Elite both will come crashing into them. And if they're unlucky, they will also have to face Bin Zaid, although Bin Zaid don't really need to leave. They're kind of in the center. They should be safe. What about teams like Black Flag Army? They are also outside the zone and they will have to face PN Rose yet again. And we already know what happens when they try to clash against them. As we said, Assassin Army can't stay out of danger for too long. They find their next victims and it's going to be DCR and X.
Assassin Army against Desi RNX. A good shot, bro. That was a small pixel that was connected, and Adib was pinned down, taken down, and will be confirmed in no time. Long range duel coming in from the side of Roni Negator. It's the fight of Sniper. Prince being put to sleep there. There's no point there. He will be revived. Desi RNX pushing in. 0 elimination points by far. Still in the circle. Going in, fight against Team Assassin Army, and they will be eliminated by Team Desi RNX. Now, not in the weirdest dream they would have thought that they are going to take a U-turn to pick up fight with Assassin Army. Thus, Assassin Army were making a move in an angle which would have given them a better advantage. But that was that is something that usually no teams think about, taking a U-turn when the circle is already on the ship, and play the unusual and win the duel against Assassin Army. This is the code that I've cracked by now.
Yeah, and Assassin Army were at the top. So now that the lobby leaders are out, the top spot is open for the taking. And PN Rose want it desperately. They go full sending it against Black Flag Army. And Black Flag Army has not gone for very long. Like you said, they're very good at holding and adapting to the zone, but they're not always able to win their fights when they are getting full sent on. And that's exactly what's happening right now as well. Black Flag Army do lose one player, but they relinquish this little piece of cover and try to make their way into the next part of the circle already. Launching themselves across, they land straight onto HTG. And from the backlines, PN Rose are also trying to shoot at them. They will also launch themselves shortly. But for now, Black Flag Army have to win this fight against HTG. Otherwise, they will be out of it. Bahari, the last member of Team Elite who was surviving solo, has been found, has been exterminated. And now yet another top-tier team is out. Team Elite, Assassin Army, Kar98, all of these guys were at the top of the table. Which means there is a team who has a chance to now climb the rankings. But look at Pratik. Oh, Danya, he's so sneaky.
No loot, no guns,
no meds,
18 HP, no meds, 18 HP to work out with, and surviving. I really want to see this guy survive until top 5, and if that sort of survival instincts are still in the meta, that's going to bring in something unique. Coming towards PN Rose here, 2 players down already against Bin Zaid Gaming, pushing in hard. There's no way PN Rose can survive this sort of a push. 2 players still far away. Until Lewis is still there might bring in some change, but TVS will also attack them from the different side, and it is an end for Team PN Rose. It is a 4v3 situation. Freeze Bomb being introduced there. Lewis down on his knees, starting the last man standing. How long will he survive? Teleporter used, but ending himself in even more danger, and they will be eliminated.
Yeah, he teleports straight into his enemy's crosshairs. Black Flag Army have been able to secure every shot, but Bin Zaid have put HTG out of the picture. Great flick shot connected by Gyan Ninja. And now PVS are also full sending him. They're using the glue walls to inch closer and closer. Benzed must hold on. They've got the central compound, and PVS want this for themselves. They've identified the win condition, and they need this real estate. After navigating across the glue walls, Brady lands the shot with the shotguns, has to jump across the tiny window to get that trade in. But while this is happening, they are also in a little bit of danger. They just finished off Yogi, and Yogi's already been revived again. He's going to be joining the fight soon as he drops from the skies. Gun Ninja staying hidden, staying sneaky. He's hoping that Subo will be able to get a couple of drills inside and use the flame to help him out. But they also don't know that Predator is up there. Gun Ninja cannot afford to expose himself to Predator. Otherwise, that will be a free frag for him. And Predator is separated from his teammates, right? Take a look at where Vasio Gaming are. They're all playing away from each other. It's a 3-man split.
Now that is something very risky that they are deciding to play, but what do they have to offer in this particular map will only come to the table once the map is down and complete. PVS trying to go in, and there's a good push. PVS will struggle bad here, and Black Flag Army eliminated by PVS. Binzed as well, the last man, very nearby, using the Skylar, pushing in, and he's left bare open where Shubo will also be put to sleep. It is, oh, there's still one more player remaining from the side of Binzed. Same goes for the CRNX. It's a 4 versus 2 versus 1 versus 1. So let's, I mean, by the book for sure, it has to be PVS winning away the Booyah until and unless Predator connects some strong shots from the upper ground and bring in some team eliminations there.
Yeah, Vasio Esports enjoy the high ground advantage, but they don't have the numbers. Meanwhile, the one player who was outside the zone trying to go for a heal battle has been eliminated, so it's a pure 2v4 battle now. PVS Gaming scaling up the hill, getting on the high ground, trying to get the flank onto Manish. He almost got shot from the back, but he covers his left hand side, and they will not be able to do anything. In a huge turn, in a huge surprising booyah, PVS rise up to the top. This team struggled quite a lot to even get to this point, to even get into the point rush stage. They barely survived the knockout stages. But now look at them, holding their head up high with a proud booyah, and this should definitely get them a tiny amount of points going into the final day tomorrow.
Team PVS, the final circle here, they had the numbers advantage and the push that they gave. That was also something that that was expected. Team Vasio, the split that they decided to play with was something I would personally say a big no. In the final circle, at least where your team needs your support the most, where you might need the revive, where you might need the glue wall, or you can also self-revive yourself with the good glue wall placement from your teammates. But Vasio Esports, maybe they were practicing something. There's not much to lose from them as well. But Team PVS, they earned a lot of respect here with the way they survived as a squad and also managed to get a good, smart numbers of elimination points.
Yeah, really smart gameplay by PVS. Like, they knew that they had nowhere else to go, and it's obviously very risky to rush a compound like that, but they realized that's the only compound in the zone, that's the center, they need it, and if they need it, they're gonna try to take it. They win the fight against PN Rose, eliminate them, and then they hold on to the low ground. Even though Team Elite were towering upon them, they are able to scale up the hill and get back that booyah.
Team HTG and PN Rose. Now this was some sort of a battle held up in the open grounds where any third party could have picked up the advantage. Surely there was nobody nearby. PN Rose were successfully eliminated. One of the teams here, Vasio Esports, lost few players, revived again, and PN Rose with the split of 2:1:1. That doing very well because they were entering parallelly, so if any support was needed, they were able to provide. Binzed Gaming as well, the team to struggle to enter the circle, got the hands on the best of the compounds possible. Prince was taken down by Ronnie Negi. Now there has been a good fight between the snipers itself. Prince taking down Pahari in the long range bear battle. This time it was Ronnie Negi taking down Prince. Now that is some sort of a battle of snipers that I personally enjoy to watch. But Vasio Esports has had everything that they could. 4 players strong, circle, height advantage, and I don't know how did they start losing their numbers.
Yeah, they lost their numbers, and even they couldn't figure out how. That was a tough pill for them to swallow. But Vasio Esports, take a look at the amount of points they were able to muster just by staying up on that hill. quite a lot of eliminations to them. But in the end, it's Yogi who becomes the MVP for this game. 2,642 damage. That is a lot. But still, only one elimination. So I'm assuming this was once again one of those games where he does the damage, one of his teammates connects the final bullet, and they get the finish instead. They get the elimination. It doesn't matter which one of your teammates gets the elimination, as long as one of you gets it. It's a team game after all.
Sure, I would be pissed off if my teammate would also take away. I call it kill steal. I would definitely be pissed off here. Where if I do all the damage and somebody else takes away the kill points, elimination points, but somehow, as you mentioned, it is team game. You have to be cooperative enough to let those elimination points stolen by your own teammates here. But let's come back towards Eco. 4 elimination points, 4 assists, 3 knockdowns, and only 1,300 were. Now we know who stole the kills, who stole the elimination points.
Yeah, but even then, there's not too many eliminations to their name. Like 4 for Eco, 3 for Reti, 3 for Nancy, and 1 for Yogi. I mean, you put the numbers together, it's just 11. And we've seen games where teams get more than like 20 eliminations in a single game. So compared to that, this is still quite a humble Booyah. Eliminations 11 and 12 Booyah points should net them 23 points in total. And all the other teams are also not that far away. I mean, if you take a look at the eliminations, almost all the teams in the top 5 have a decent amount. 11 for Binzed, Vasio 9, Black Flag Army 9. Quite a lot of eliminations being distributed by every team who managed to survive up until the end. Unfortunately, it means that big names like Desi RNX, Assassin Army, TSG Army, Car98, teams who had phenomenal performances today, teams who were on the leaderboard for eliminations, were out very early in this game. And that's why teams who were towards the bottom of the score table like PVS get a chance to rise up in the rankings. It's all about creating a balance, and the final map of Alpine did do that.
Still, no matter what Assassin's Army, they are on number 1 position. Nobody to hit the century, sure, but it is the 10-point earning stands for Assassin Army, followed by Desi RNX with 81 points. And third comes Team PN Rose, Team Elite getting good bounce in top 5 already. Team Vasio also got a good start, and Team TSG Army, the team to start on number 1, is ending up with 6 points. That is indicative. Number 1 position points are 10 points to be earned by Assassin Army, obviously. Number 2 gets 7, number 3 gets 5, number 4 gets 3, number 5 gets 2 points, and TSG gets 1 point on their name.
Yeah, 1 point doesn't seem like a lot, but Nonstop Gaming will have something else to say about that. PVS Gaming just about missing the top 6 by a tiny margin. They also won't get that much of an advantage, but hey, they were not supposed to be in the finals in the first place, so they will be happy to just participate. Now, let's take a look at the head starts. Tanya, you've already mentioned all the advantage that they will get. And Assassin Army, tomorrow, before even the first game begins, they will have a head start of 10 points. They see RNX with 7. And this way, the advantage continues all the way towards the 6th place. That means the teams on the right-hand side of the screen, PVS Gaming, Black Flag Army, Car98 Army, HTG Esports, Binzed, and Total Gaming will have no advantage tomorrow whatsoever. The 10 points, can it make or break the difference? Can it be the thing that separates Assassin's Army from a defeat? Or will it actually let them win the Skyesports Pro League?
Well, Assassin Army is sort of a power where you can barely stop them if they are in as a triple threat. If there's a 3-man army against you from Assassin's team, there's no way you can win the duel. That has been the case throughout, until and unless they are choking up against 2 teams or the zone is also pushing them outside. Otherwise, Assassin Army is one of the team to watch out for in top 3 for sure. But MVP leaders for the day will be Vasio Esports Anshu with 3 MVPs altogether and 38 elimination points, followed by Prince with 46 eliminations on his name. Then comes TSG Legend with 45 eliminations on his name. And let's also talk about the damage that has been dealt by Prince. That is the maximum damage as compared to anyone else.
Yeah, Prince is on fire. Somebody name him king, because he is the ruler of this lobby with 35,000 damage. Nobody even came close to him. Nobody even close to the 30,000 mark, let alone the 35. So that is absolutely nuts. Now, while Prince may not get the title of the MVP award, he can still make a running for the Predator leaderboard, which I believe still is being ruled by Sadek.
Sure, TSG Sidak there's no one to compete him by far. And if we talk about top 5 Predator leaders, there has to be 3 players from TSG and 2 from Assassin. And yes, it continues. Sidak, no competition there. And you're talking about his 50 marker. Sure, he does cross with total of 54 eliminations on his name, followed by Krish with 47 eliminations, and then comes Legend himself with 45 elimination points. Sure, there's a little shuffle here and there between these 5 only. There's going to be position 3 by claimed by Prince with 46 eliminations, and the last Dafik, one of the finest rushers for his team with a total of 43 elimination points. Now, damage dealt by Prince is still unmatched as compared to anyone. He has been doing some amazing work with his sniper skills.
Yeah, so while TSG currently have 3 of their players in the top 5, they have a massive chance of becoming the first team to cross the 80-point marker tomorrow. Because they're able to get so many points, they might just be able to get to 80 points within the first 3 games, and then all they have to do is win a booyah. But have they been able to win booyahs? So far, it's not the booyahs that are getting them on the drop, it's only their eliminations. Unfortunately, even if you become the first team to activate the champion rush condition, there isn't any guarantee of you actually winning the tournament. Meanwhile, on the other hand, you have teams like Assassin Army. They've had quite a lot of booyahs, way more than anyone else. But what if they never reach the champion rush condition? What if they get focused on heavily? And then you have teams like Team Elite, Vasio Esports, Total Gaming, all of them have a decent mix of firepower as well as positioning. What's going to happen if they enter the fray? There's a lot of things that could go wrong tomorrow, Tanya, for a lot of these teams, and all their best laid plans can also just come crumbling down within a matter of seconds.
And that's the catch, right? There are teams who can take away the booyah, but they do not reach the marker of 80. And there are teams who reach towards 80 marker and they're not claiming the booyah.
Yeah.
So this champion rush we are repeatedly saying that the tournament of grand finals might end up at 4 maps. But with today's knockout phase, I believe we might end up with 8 mapper as well. Because just imagine the team to take away 80 total of points and not being able to claim the booyah. Then what's the point? Here they get the other teams get the opportunity to climb up high towards top 3, top 1 maybe. You really never know how things turn.
Yeah, and there's a pretty good chance that if this team becomes like the first team to actually activate the champion rush condition for themselves, what if they start getting focused? What if every team wants to land right next to them and just destroy them, making sure that the tournament extends forward and they will just continue to get eliminated very early on? That would be an absolute waste of a champion rush condition. So there's a lot of things that could happen, and this is why Skyesports Pro League has been super entertaining. First, they introduced this amazing tournament format. Then on top of that, they make sure that all the players are forced to use multiple abilities, all of them unique. Anything could happen. I mean, if I was in a player's shoes right now, I would not know what would be going on in their minds. I mean, it would be amazing if we could just talk to one of the players right now.
Yeah, sure thing. That would be way more interesting about how the tournament format has been supporting them in their playset or maybe hindering them as well. Because on day 1, Vasio himself stated that this four different set of abilities is making it tough for them to decide who plays what, because there is always a comfort zone in terms of map. There's always been Bermuda, a comforting map for everyone. Just like that, there might be some comforting abilities as well, active abilities as well for each and every player who might be using. Now they had to change that, so it took them entire day to recalculate about which player plays what. So and now you have also brought in one additional confusion there. What happens if they get 80-point marker but no booyah?
Yeah, and that is such a massive question. You know what? I can't think of the answers to all of these questions. Let's just head to an interview and see what they have to say for ourselves.
से आप
बढ़िया बढ़िया अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। आप कैसे रॉकी भाई?
बढ़िया, हम बढ़िया है। और ब्रो आपकी टीम भी बहुत बढ़िया है। जिस तरीके से 3 गेम में टीएसजी टॉप में थे, लेकिन जिस तरीके से आपने उनको ओवरटेक करा फिर ऊपर ही नहीं आने दिया, ये कहीं ना कहीं प्लानिंग चलती है कि इस पर्टिकुलर टीम से आगे जाना है, या फिर आप यही सोचते नहीं अब हम सिर्फ अपना देखेंगे और टेबल टॉप पे ही फोकस होगा हमारा?
तो बेसिक गेम खेलते हैं, हमारी टीम वही खेलते हैं, ऐसा कोई प्लानिंग तो नहीं। बट हाँ, हन्नी जो आईजी लिंक करता है वो कहीं ना कहीं उसको क्रेडिट जाता है इस चीज़ का।
अगेन कमाल के रोटेशन हुसैन भाई एंड अगेन कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस, आज 10 अंक आपने कमाए हैं एंड कल ऑफ कोर्स ये अंक आपके काम आने वाले हैं। कल थोड़ी सी राहत होगी कि चलिए 10 अंक तो हमारे पास शुरुआत में होने वाले, पर कल को लेकर के देखिए आज का डे तो खत्म हो ही गया है, पर कल को लेकर के आपकी कुछ स्पेशल प्लानिंग, कुछ सोच रखा है कि ये प्ले स्टाइल अपनाना ज़्यादा सही रहेगा? क्योंकि आज कई सारी गलतियां भी हुई हैं पर गेम भी बहुत अच्छा गया है।
कोई गलतियां जो आपने बोली उसके ऊपर हम काम करेंगे, जैसे आप बोलते हैं होमवर्क करके आएंगे और देखेंगे, ट्राई करेंगे नेक्स्ट कल जो है वो सब ना हो। बाकी जो आज प्लेइंग स्टाइल था वही रहेगा।
एब्सोल्युटली। और देखिए जिस हिसाब से हमारा भी रुझान है उजय में, अगर शुरुआती 3 गेम आपने कुछ आज की तरह ही निकाल दिए तो कल का दिन हो सकता है पार्टी।
तो डिसाइड तो वही किया था कि एज अ क्रिएटर मैं पहले 2 गेम्स खेलने चाहते थे, तो 2 में से एक भी अगर बुया या फिर अच्छा गए, बाकी गेम टीम को थोड़ा सा कम प्रेशर रहेगा खेलने, क्योंकि उनका एथलीट आ जाएगा फिर मेरे प्लेस पे।
वाह, प्लान तो बहुत क्लियर कट है हुसैन भाई। ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर टुमारो एंड कल के दिन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डे है एंड आई विश कल का डे भी आपका आज के जैसा ही जाए, ऐसी मेहनत करते रहो एंड अच्छा लगा आपसे मिल करके एंड ख्याल रखिए अपना एंड अपनी टीम का। जल्द मुलाकात करते हैं।
थैंक यू।
जी हाँ दोस्तों, ये
Well, that was quite impressive. He seems like he's taking the pressure really well. They also know exactly when to bring in their other players when he has to sit it out. So I do believe their planning is quite elaborate, and I hope it works for them, because there's going to be quite a lot of chaos, and I don't think even the best planning in the world can guarantee you a victory.
With 10 those great points that they have earned today in the knockout phase, I believe 70 points in 3 maps is not too far if they continue to do what they started off their day with, which Aura mentioned it very wisely, that 2 to 3 maps for the start might end up, but then they need to make sure that they grab that booyah.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you tune in tomorrow at the same time and the same place to watch the finals of Free Fire Max Skyesports Pro League. It's going to be a banger of a tournament, and it's going to be so chaotic that none of these teams will be able to fully guarantee themselves a booyah when it actually matters the most. A lot of things up in the air, a lot of chaos will be spotted in the lobby tomorrow. So you make sure that you hit that subscribe button and tune in tomorrow at the same time and same place. See you again.